Warning! This broadcast is for adult children only. Any bimmy bimmies or jimmy jimmies need to talk to their mommy and daddy because there's going to be bad words. And you don't want to get your fucking minds blown. Thank you.
Yes, welcome everyone to the season finale of season 3 of the Tomodachi Bros podcast. Do not fret, do not despair. We are probably just going to take a week or two off to post the last lost episodes from season 2, and we'll be back with a fresh start. Season 4, I'm going to do a couple new editing tricks. We're going to see how you guys like that, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it and set it on fire. Today, Master Ditaku has returned today to join me as we do our second part of reading Amazing Quest, Pudding Warrior.
The irony of the fact that this is part 2 out of 3, and this is going to be the end of the season.
This will be the end
truly
of
is
the
a
season.
cliffhanger.
Yes,
Yeah.
that is our design. We're going to keep you guys tantalized with wonderful, amazing quests. Yes. Now, the one thing I will say is, if you guys have no idea what we're talking about, go back to episode 49. It's the one that was posted out of order. But hey, you guys didn't notice when I posted chapter 7 after part 8 of Digimon Hacker's Memory. No one called me out on that. So we're just, anything goes. Cause, effect, all of that doesn't matter. Because we roll, this is how we roll. Because we are cool guys who don't have to play by your rules, man.
Largely because we are the ones who determine the rules to begin with.
That's true.
So.
That's true. So we have the option, the luxury even, of not necessarily abiding by those rules. And before we proceed, Ditaku, I'll make you a deal. I know Dama is one of your favorite characters. So how about when she shows up, you take Dama and I will take the role of Mancala.
You know, I will accept this. I
All
will accept this. I honestly, you know, I pretty much, I just wanted, you know, the loyal siblings. I really like them.
They are fun.
And
they're wonderful.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm fine. Besides, I think I already know what voice I'm going to do for her.
Perfect. All right. I'm still not sure what I'm going to do. I'm not going to do, maybe I should do the Sneko voice. You think I should do Sneko for Mancala? That might hurt.
Yeah, I feel like that would hurt. Also, I mean, really, honestly, it would be really, like... Okay, this is going to sound crazy.
All right.
But you know what we really would need? We'd need, like, Kirsha. Kirsha to do her, like, really, really, like, New England, or maybe Pumpkin Potion.
I get what you're saying. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Exactly how I imagine. I hear Mancala when I wrote her. So
I get that. I understand that with no further context, and that is like how good of friends we are, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, dare we forget, you know, dare we forget, you know, Emoto and Peacock Man and Water Buffalo Man.
Yes.
This is like OG Professor and Ditaku, but that's before that literally was like a month before we decided to buckle down and finish Amazing Quest.
Yeah, no, that's true, isn't it? Yeah.
Because I want to say it was stuck on like chapter 5 for like the longest time, at which point, yeah, we're like, you know what? And that's
It's
the reason
time.
why chapter 6 is kind of crazy.
I went a little berserk in chapter 6, so we'll get to that. Today, we begin in chapter 4, which is the chapter that I wrote, so I will be your narrator for this segment. Chapter 4,
Narrator.
2,000,000 Leagues Under the Sea. We get another sepia tone flashback, this time of an only slightly younger hero and Amelia.
Well, your form is good, but you swing your sword like a little girl.
I don't like hurting people, sis. Besides, everyone knows you're the messiah the pudding tribe has awaited. I'm only here because Mom had that bottle of aged tequila lying around.
That has nothing to do with anything. You need to have more confidence. Wait, I got just the ticket.
Amelia runs behind Hero and plays with his hair. What are you doing?
I'm giving you a pudding warrior knot in your hair. It's an ancient custom of our tribe that when a pudding warrior comes of age, he gets one.
Oh, that's pretty neat. Amelia finishes, presenting the now French braided hero, we now know. Somehow I feel more fabulous than before. Can't quite place my finger on it.
Mm, mm, mm. It's perfect. You'll be beating up dark puddings before you know it.
The scene
Which
fades.
is funny, actually. the timeline of this entire thing, because some comments that JD and Zodon make it sound like they actually are the first set of dark puddings, quote unquote. And then there's other comments like this, which kind of muddy the waters, and that there must have been no one really knows.
Yeah, that kind of remains a little bit of a mystery, but I mean, hey, war is hell, what can I say? The scene fades and then returns. Hiro, Ozma, Kimyawa, and Loyrol laid out on the beach. I wonder why I never dream in color. Hiro gets up.
That is a good question.
Yeah, it's like, haven't you noticed that? Like, every time there's a flashback, it's always like in sepia or grayscale. It's like, it's never, almost never in color. Just one of those things you notice. Hiro gets up, and the others join him. You'll soon discover this area is only one screen wide, and you're left to exhaust every possibility until you investigate the water. Not just any water, though. The one specific square just to the left of the center. Many players have wasted hours trying to find this event flag, and many people wrongly believed this was some sort of anti-piracy measure. Nope, just shoddy programming. The mermaid from before surfaces. Okay, I gotta think up a voice now. I'm being put on the spot. So, thief, ready to pay up? Hey, we don't even have a thief in this party. Just a reasonable facsimile.
You flatter me, as always. Yes, I remember what my voice is.
You yanked the goods from that place without paying its rightful owner.
Isn't that technically liberating it?
Quit changing the topic.
What's your name, Stranger Chan? Also, there's many strange ladies here.
You know,
There's so many of us.
Don't think about it too hard. I'm Mancala. Call me Manny, and I'll punch you in the mug. Got it? I'm the #1 marine merchant mermaid you'll ever see in the sea. Meh, 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 meh. Ignoring that. The point is, you took stolen property, so I'm going to maroon you here until you pay up. Great. Now what do we do? You then get a prompt, which can result in some different dialogue options. The first is barter, the second is lie, and the third is beg. We'll begin in order with barter.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Okay, it was just a few things, so it can't be that expensive. What's the tab? Well, since you asked so nicely, Mancala brandishes an abacus and begins calculating. The item's total net value, plus the emotional damage to this delicate mermaid, plus interest, plus tax not withheld, plus tax withheld, social security deducting the ask so nicely fee. It all tallies up to a measly 36 trillion gold. Can I crush your head like an overripe melon? Trillion? Are you mad? If you're nice, I'll even include the cute boy deduction. That would knock it all the way down to 34.
And certainly a deduction for yours truly.
I'm not into girls. Much.
I beg your pardon?
There's no way we have that much. That price is absurd, so I refuse. Say what now? Alternative dialogue is if you lie. What if I told you I know of a great treasure? It did more than make up the difference. Okay, I'm listening now.
You don't need Chan. How could you? You've been holding out on us?
Hero, How could you?
Most unfabulous of you, my friend.
There is a long, awkward pause. Friendship is a sacred treasure above all material wealth in pudding society. So it was just a lie. And lastly, if you beg. Please don't make me beg. I am not a proud man. This is
This
about
is
to
about
get
to get
real
really
hot.
hot.
Suddenly, my pride is flaring up within me, and I don't know why.
Well, we're waiting.
On second thought, I think I'll just take a moment to absorb the scenery instead. Darn. Regardless of your choice, it all comes back to here afterward. This isn't getting us anywhere. Is there no way to come to an agreement on this? Well, you could be my servants for a while. Help with this, that, and the other for a bit. We could call it square. I somehow get the impression you're a bit more ambitious than that. You flirt. That's not the intended reaction. Why does it feel like my life's in danger now? Stare. At any rate,
See,
we
this is
don't.
the problem.
We have them
We have-
speaking in sync, and there's I'm gonna have to go in post and sync our dialogue to make that work. At any rate, we don't have that kind of money on hand to pay, so I guess we have no choice. Well, you're in luck. I just so happened to overhear some of the dark puddings talking about the water talisman. You did? Where is it now? In the Octopus Garden. It's some ancient ruins not far from my hometown, Romania. Regrettably, there has been locked up since far back as anyone can remember. But I just so happen to know some juicy gossip that may lead us to the key, the legendary Ice Key. That sounds like a lead? Or a diversion from the main plot. Potato, potato. Either way, I need some henchmen, and you need the talisman, right? I knew it as soon as I saw that birthmark. Hero takes a moment to examine himself. Okay, seriously, where is this birthmark that people keep going on about, and why do I not see it? But that whole air breather problem, there's only one fix for that. Not another racket. Calm down, calm down. It's a mermaid's kiss. Oh, is that some kind of stone? Or maybe a plant? Or Mancala leaps from the water, her tail morphing into legs, allowing her to glomp Hero, accompanied by a loud, cartoonish smooch sound effect, which always gets a giggle out of me. Whoa, that was brusque. Ozma is furious.
Envious. Are we ready to go?
Oh, boy roll.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Then we can enter the water and dive to the underwater map. Though thanks to aquatic canyons, we can't just go anywhere we want yet. Our first stop is just down south a ways at Mermania, a recurring city throughout the franchise. There, we can get the bikini armors for our female party members, which give a serviceable boost in defense to each. Because that's how JRPG armor works. Hero and Moira can get the trunks, which are a step up, but not as huge of one. How does an armor that covers less protect more? It is one of the long-lost legendary mysteries of JRPGs. Anyway, if we talk around to the Merchants Guild here, we'll learn that Mancala has lost her trader's license 17 different times due to questionable practices. The others roll their eyes when they learn this news, but refrain from commenting. After talking to enough merfolk, Mancala fans out from the party. Okay, we got everything we need? The legendary ice ski is held in the underwater volcano. I'd question the physical possibilities, but somehow I feel like I'd just be encouraging you at this point. Oh, don't be so glum, chum. It's pretty much a straight line there, with a few curves and bumps, and a giant angry dragon at the bottom. There's the hitch. I was waiting for that.
Slaying a dragon. It's a tad cliche, but I think we can do that.
Then what are you waiting for? Let's do it! What? You mean stroll up to the dragon and punch it in the face? Yes? Metal.
Sugoi, Hazuma-chan. That's probably the most friendly they've been.
I know, right? That's funny that that's going to come to a head. At this point, we can move back to the ocean floor, and the cave in the top right area is open now. Had begun previously, Hero would have met the giant sentient block, a really existential gag that plagues AQ players for years to come. In fact, in the early internet era, whether the pseudo character even existed was up for debate, as most of his appearances in this game are very easily missed. The cave itself is pretty straightforward, except about midway, where the current puzzles spell out great confusion for those who tried to brute force them, which would flush them down a comedically oversized pit where you'd battle the toilet snake monster, which is obsessed with poison attacks. Otherwise, the local monsters like the munchkin fish, the seaweeder, and the poof fish are actually quite weak compared to other monsters around this level. Here you can find a choral abacus from Ankara, replacing the nonsense TMSN abacus, which she comes with normally. The Japanese name is Termite Snek, and I guess they were just okay with letting everyone assume it meant Thompson or something. Afterward, you just press on down the stairs, up until you enter the game show chamber. As an aside, the Termite Snack is a oblique reference to a weapon that Maxi can use in Soul Calibur 2 and 3, because it's just a rotten piece of wood that he swings around, which the game refers to as the Termite Snack.
See, I was wondering if that was a reference to the absolutely ridiculous contractions that Breath of Fire 2's original localization got.
Oh no, it is. It absolutely is.
Which,
it was kind of a reference to both.
I know we've kind of done, or especially later, we're going to do many observational gags about how ridiculous some of those got. Because actually having a ranger who did a very parallel play of Breath of Fire 1 and 2, and he kind of confirmed a lot of suspicions that we both, and also elucidated the fact that, for instance, the tinfoil weapon, or the tinfoil boomerang, is not actually a tinfoil boomerang. And great joy out of learning that, wait, that's what you guys thought it was?
Yes, we did, as a matter of fact, because its abbreviation is just TN foil. And I'm like, oh, well, it's tinfoil, obviously.
Yeah.
No, it turns out it's not.
Oh, can I be Otto?
Yeah, sure, you can be Otto. Anyway, that's not a joke. The party fans out and stands behind a podium as a large anime octopus man plops down in a suit and tie.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Amazing Game Show, the video game. I'm your host, Otto, and you lucky hero today. You get to try my game challenge. Win and you'll receive fabulous prizes. Fail, you get, well, nothing. Are you ready to play?
We didn't get the prompt of squid, yeah, or fin, no, but obviously the game won't let you progress until you at least try, so yeah.
Question number 1 will be an easy one to get your feet wet. What tribe is hero?
We get a prompt between pudding, protagonist, and team laser explosion. The answer is quite obvious.
Those classic 2012 humor references.
That's a Weeble
Correct.
Stuff.
Question 2. What is Ozma's family name?
This one is a little trickier, being given the possible answers of trouble, torable, and taruble. Just be aware of what her name is actually spelled as, and you'll be fine.
Great job! Really cracking them up. Question number 3. What mystical artifacts, when united, great and terrible power?
The answers this time are the Discord Stones, Hell's Bells, and the Talismans. Interestingly enough, the other options are shoutouts to DOS-era adventure titles, which AQ4 later shouts out to.
That's throwing the brick in the air.
As the children used to say.
As we're really gilling into it, question 4. What elemental affinity is the...
The prompt is just fire, water, and pie. So the answer is obviously water, as it was the monster in the fog tower. If you say pie, Otto's arms drop to his sides, as he turns to face the player directly and will stare at you for 10 tedious, unnerving seconds, and then prompting you to try again.
All right. Last one, and this one separates the squids from the suckers. Question 5. Which of these is not an element of magic?
The answer prompt this time is 4 options wide, and include music, emotion, booba, and food. You'd only know the answer to this if you read the instruction booklet, which specifically references the elements in the AQ universe. And this is also kind of a jerk move by the game devs, as losing the manual in the early SNES era was a foregone conclusion by all but the most dedicated of collectors. The answer is technically food, but the Amazing Quest spin-off manga series actually contradicts this during the Great Pudding Cook-Off arc.
No way! What an amazing contestant we had on the show! Everyone, put your fids together for our new winner!
A bunch of fish suddenly leap on screen and shake about excitedly as the SNES strains to emulate the sound of uproaring applause. Then they retreat to whence they came.
Contested, how do you feel?
A little drunk?
You heard it here, folks. Enjoy your fabulous prizes.
For answering all 5 correct, we get 3 fishy hats, which are helmet upgrades for anyone in the party. We're then booted from the quiz room and resume our trek through 4 a few more rooms up until we reach the boss chamber. There's a huge hole in the center of the room, glowing red. I have to assume this is where the dragon awaits us. Better go up and check just to be sure, Hero. We'll wait back here where it's safe. Very well. One moment. Hero walks to the lip and looks down. Deep, but I don't see anything. Hero kicks a small stone from the lip down below and puts a hand to his ear to listen for it. Deep. Very deep. But I still don't. The screen begins violently shaking. Well, I've been wrong before. Boss fight. Trench Serpent.
Boss fight.
Who has an LP of 7,500 and an MP of just 1,000. This gigantic beast is a real threat at last. Hope you took the time to level up on your way here. Your best bet is to use Kimiyawa's Fox Flip, if you're high leveled enough to have it by now, which can briefly confuse the monster to some considerable effect. However, it mandates being quite a bit over-leveled to use, so you may be money ahead to just spam the Mirror of Ki. The Serpent's most dangerous move is Cowabunga, which sends a killer tidal wave over the party. Never mind that we're already underwater during this fight. Your birding swirl should be sufficient, provided you're not careless. If you monitor your HP burn, you should come out on top. Whew, that was surprising. Look, the ice key! A banana and a block of ice floats down to Hero's hands. I lack the words, as usual. We have it! Now we can go to the octopus's garden! Tell me it's not a quiz game. Probably not.
Life is far more fun when you never know what comes next, correct?
I guess so. At this point, we can go to the next area, if we wanted to. However, a hilarious and easily missed Easter egg awaits those who have the patience to return to Zeus and Heston. The people gather at a neutral ground once you walk into one of the cities. Okay, everyone, watch very carefully. I'm going to bring peaceful resolution to this once and for all. Hero brandishes his sword and cuts the ice key clean in half. Hero, what the hell? Just watch. I'm going someplace with this. Hero takes the banana free of the ice and peels it from the center out on both ends. The crowd, mumbling among themselves.
No way! No one has ever! How did he do that?
See, now you all understand. There's more than just 2 ways to do something, and each is equally valid. And now we all learned an important lesson, right?
He has angered the volcano gods!
I beg your pardon? The camera pans out as a nearby mountain erupts into a volcano. The magma pours out and wipes out both villages in a flash. It then cuts back to the party. Ah, right. This place is ruled by the twin brother gods of volcanoes, Rilk and Claire. They also have very particular food habits, and banana peeling is actually one of their sacred doctrines. How was I supposed to know that? So 2 more destroyed cities. Poor Hero.
Yeah, see, the funny thing is like we kind of played up like how violent Breath of Fire 1 is. Don't get me wrong, Breath of Fire 1 is extremely violent, but actually destroying the Twin Cities is actually a thing that you fire. So
yes,
a ranger makes fun of us for this, but it's like these 2 actually were destroyed.
That's true.
No.
So with 2 more destroyed cities under our belts, we find the Melted Blade, a new sword for Hero as we return to the sea for the Octopus Garden. The garden is actually a 3D maze, using a really curious fixed perspective isometric view and water spouts that move Hero up and down as you run through. This is a reference to the ship graveyard in Super Mario RPG and how obnoxious that section is. People have wasted hours.
Super Mario RPG, or are you talking about Final Fantasy V?
I guess both. I guess both of those things count.
Yeah,
People have wasted hours of their lives here due to the numerous dead ends and confusing layout. This is also only the first screen. The second area has moving platforms, which Hero must traverse in order to cross a river. This is a Frogger joke, everyone.
And this is not even the most annoying dungeon in this game. Like some of these, I'm like, why did we do this? This would be so annoying.
That would be super obnoxious, yes. For some reason, this ordeal seems quite nostalgic, doesn't it? The third area introduces the garden's true gimmick, the octopus jars and the red and blue octopi. When you get here, the party fans out. Ah, I've heard of this room. You have to approach it from a certain angle. I don't suppose you know what that is. Grandma said this: red octopi are friendly and will pull you near for a closer look. Blue octopi are shy, and if approached, they'll politely move you away from their homes. But don't fear, neither will harm you. What on earth does that mean? I don't know. Why?
Nichan, I think I understand. The octopi tachi are different colors here. Red will pull us near from far away, and blue will push us from near to far. And the room is full of holes in the floor, so to progress, we need octopi tachi to move us from one spot to another.
So the riddle lies in the color and the distance. I see. This is the most head-scratching moment in the game, not due to the base mechanics, but to how fiendishly clever the rooms that lie ahead really are. As explained, red octopi reach out 3 to 4 spaces ahead to grab us, but will ignore us if we're just 1 or 2 spaces out from them. The blue octopi ignore us at a distance of 3 or greater, and will move us away from them 3 to 4 spaces if we approach. Using this knowledge, we must move about the map by step to progress. The first room is very simple and is just a test of how each of these work. The second room adds more walls and holes in the floor to test critical thinking. The third room adds floors that collapse once stepped on, which reset if you leave and come back, and the final room adds conveyor belts for a touch of twitch reflex testing. Even with random encounters turned off in these moments, this still gets routinely ranked as one of the top 5 most hair-pullingly frustrating dungeons in this series. Once you get to the end, you see another pit, not unlike the underwater volcano end area. Oh? Is this the center area of the octopus garden? Not a recolor boss fight. How uncreative can you get? The area rumbles as a large purple trench serpent rises from below.
Now's my chance. Snake-san doesn't like that comment.
Get ready, everyone. Before the battle can even begin, something flashes across the screen. The serpent roars, sinking back into the abyss. Wait, what? Who was that? Okay, now we need to decide. This is the next Praetorian, so who wants to take him?
Light puddings, prepare yourself.
Strictly speaking, only one among us is a pudding. A tall, slender man with an oversized tower shield on each arm stands before the party.
I am Praetorian, me.
Of course you are.
I understand your frustration, my friend, but you must admit, he's got style.
You've done enough damage, Light Pudding. It's your time. You've done enough pudding. Enough pudding. You've done enough damage. I can't even speak. I'm drowning.
No, he's not.
You've done enough damage, Light Pudding. It's time. Your little escapade.
Excuse me.
What?
How are you breathing right now? Did you kiss a mermaid too?
Huh?
We're underwater, so I just wanted to know if you did the same thing as all, or if there was a better way.
Kiss a mermaid? What are you on about? Everyone knows mermaids aren't real.
Ahem.
I tire of this. Enough banter. Have at you.
Boss battle. Praetorian me. Life points of 8,800. MP of 750. Praetorian me is every bit the human wall his massive design and dual-wielding shields might indicate, coupled with by far the most LP of anything we've yet encountered. The best thing to do is to use Ozma's table flip in hopes he reduces the giant's defenses, and use Pudding Swirl with Hiro and Kimyawa in order to give him the offensive edge needed to compete. Loyrel should use the Mirror of Ki, exploiting Mii's middle-end magic defense. Mii's most annoying ability will be Safe and Sound, a special technique accompanied by an unusually cool trumpet solo which will render him virtually invincible for 2 rounds, before he opens up with a party-wide physical blow. However, if you can weather this, he has a 3-turn cooldown on this ability and cannot spam it. You'll have to play the endurance game just as much as he does, but if you keep it up, you'll send him packing.
Ha ha ha! Not bad. Not bad at all. But it will take way more than that to defeat Praetorian me.
How many more times are you going to introduce yourself?
It seems our unstoppable tempo has met with an unmoving mountain.
Nichan. I think you...
That's his Nichan. She's talking to her brother.
Nichan! Other Nichan! I think you're mixing up your metaphors.
Don't give up. I have an idea, but I'll need your help, Mancala. Huh? Okay, lay it on me. What's the plan? Ozma palms Mancala's head in her hand. Wait, what? Ozma hurls Mancala head first into me, who slides back as she impacts, coming to the rim of the pit behind him. Mancala falls flat, stars circling her head. Barf!
Ha ha ha! You must be truly desperate to resort to such flailing, desperate measures.
Oh, am I?
Huh? What did you? Oh no!
Me panics, desperately attempting to run as the cliff below him gives out and he plummets into the pit below. After a few seconds of a whistling falling sound, we hear the violent crash.
Yatta!
That was a creative way of dealing with that. I'm pretty pleased with myself. My poor head! I'm gonna feel that for weeks! Oh, walk it off. How do you walk off a headache? Come on, guys. The water talisman must be... Do you guys hear something? The area rumbles distantly. Suddenly, an explosion rockets up from the pit, sending the party skyward. He exploded?
Not just him, the serpent too!
Because that makes so much sense, right? Something shiny flies among the party.
Sugoi! The water talisman! Hironichan!
I got it. Ozma grabs Mancala's tail and swings her around, causing Mancala to grab it. Stop that, you crazy bitch! But it just feels so right. How can it be wrong? Ozma learns the dual tech, fish slap. She'll grab Mancala's tail and swing her about like a flail, dealing great damage to a single target. It also deals water-type damage. And we also get the water talisman. The important thing is that we got the talisman now, right? No, the important thing is we're about to fall and die. Such a gloomy guess. The party is viewed falling, crash landing in a seaside village on the opposite side of one of the underwater canyons that previously prevented our passage from Romania. They pick themselves up to survey the town. Ah, I know where this is. This is Trackland, the town known for its enormous racetrack and horrible crippling gambling debt. That seems informative. I never heard of a place that bagged on their own town when they were naming it. Might as well have a look around. I don't see anything else we can do for now. Here we can get some upgrades. Kimiawa's cat cap helmet, Ozma's blaze knuckles, and Hero's shing sword, provided you didn't find the melted blade. By talking to the locals, we learn the Dark Puddings have already ransacked their town, and now their sole joy remains in the racetrack, famous for being so long it's also the main highway into the next town. We then go to the operations manager to find means down said road.
Oh, I was going to say, in case anyone's wondering and has not actually played Chrono Trigger, this is a reference to a certain section of Chrono Trigger.
Yep. Hello, we were wondering if we'd be all right to head down the racetrack to the next town.
No. You don't just head down the racetrack. You race down the racetrack. That's why they call it a racetrack.
Yeah, then why do you call something you drive on a parkway and something you park on a driveway?
Look, I don't make the rules. I just enforce them. If you try any funny business, I'll run your bits down and drag you back here to the biggest lecture of your life. So race properly or don't race at all.
The party leaves the room and spreads out again. Well, so much for the direct route. Anyone have any ideas?
Why not do what he said? After all, a race sounds like fun. No one can keep up with our tempo.
We can't just run the track. We pass out from exhaustion before we hit midway. We need something to ride. We need a pack mule. A town renowned for its racetrack. Well, there has to be a ranch nearby with animals for such an occasion. Let's ask around.
The irony is palpable.
Heading over to the ranch on the east side of town, we can talk to the rancher, a strangely feminine man in a long white trench coat. We need...
A monster for the race, right?
Wow, you're...
I am pretty awesome. The name's Toast. Toast P. Zappa. Moreover, you're wasting your...
T. Zappa, Tiberius. It's a James T. Kirk joke. He's Toast Tiberius Zappa Jr.
Moreover, you're wasting your time. No matter what my middle name is, it could be Pie-Berius, it could be Tiberius. It doesn't matter. The Dark Puddings raided my ranch last month, and I'm still putting the pieces back together.
Isn't there anything?
Yeah, if you got a few million going spare, I could lend you one of my thoroughbreds I've been raising.
We don't have...
Neither does anyone else, bro. If you want the bargain bin, you're in luck. This way...
Are you gonna let me...
No.
The rancher leads us over... I love dumb jokes like that. I don't know. The rancher leads us over to one particular pen, where a sad, squat, lizard-like creature with a camel's hump, 2 wings, and 2 tails, weighed down by mace-like appendages, crawls out. It coughs out dust onto Hero's boots. Is it dying?
I can only hope. This here's the bottom of the barrel. This is the last of the Griffo-humps.
Okay, you're going to need to explain that one for me.
It's half griffin, half camel dog. Its eyes also don't align properly, and it's wantonly flatulent. I'll give it to you for 100 gold. Take it or leave it.
That's a very reasonable price for an unreasonable animal. I was thinking more of something like a horse.
You are out of luck, chum. What little I have left is for the guy then this guy is for rebuilding and repopulating my ranch.
Looks like I don't have much of a choice. We
rarely do, my friend. We rarely do.
We didn't get a yes/no prompt, which is entirely pointless, as saying no means we just walk around town till we come back and say yes. In the GBA remake, however, if Kimyawa is level 37, really only a few levels higher than average for this segment, and knows her Fox Inferno technique, this entire segment takes on an entirely different connotation, as Kimyawa can replace the Griffahump as our pet in this minigame. But that's kind of creepy, so I'll stick with the SNES version. The Griffahump is then dropped into a special virtual pet style menu, which we can access.
Is that some kind of Dreamcast reference? I feel like that's a reference to Sonic Adventure of some sort.
No, I was just thinking of like what would be really cool as a way of like negotiating a moment like this. Because like in Chrono Trigger, when you get to the race sequence, you're just like, oh, you just found an abandoned key, and look, you just found an abandoned vehicle that no one's going to fight you for, and it works perfectly. It's like, there's got to be more to it. There has to be more teeth to the situation. And so I was like, oh, well, you know what would be really cute is if you had like your own little virtual pet. It's like, what would be funny? It's like if the pet sucked and you were just like kind of like by design supposed to hate it.
Which is hilariously ironic considering ultimately what this world also the literal create your own character in Amazing Quest 2.
Yes. The Griffahump is dropped into a special virtual pet style menu, which we can access whenever we want by speaking with the rancher. We're then prompted to name the little guy. His default name is Stinky. We can feed it either mundane items or special items the rancher will offer to sell us, which influence its stats. We can train it in minigames or by fighting it like it was a monster encounter, which is the most effective means. Unequip the party and let it beat on the party and its stats will skyrocket, especially if it nets a KO. We can also have Hero pet it and talk to it, which make Hero spout off nonsense jokes that were poorly translated from their original Japanese counterparts. This is a Master Bade reference from Breath of Fire 3. You may
the irony of the fact that we went out of our way for that him master until, Ranger's like, you realize his name is literally bait, as in like fishing bait, and we're like, oh.
Oh, this just got even better. You may persist doing this as long as you'd like, or until you hit the ludicrous 999 stat caps. Really, if you get around like 150 and everything, energy, speed, acceleration, and defense, you don't need more than that. Return to
Once
the
again, that's a Bade reference, because you get him like even passably, he basically smokes the other guy and there's no reason to cheat. But yeah.
But it's way more fun to make him just like this weird god man.
I really wish you could have like recruited him, but at the other hand, like the fact that he actually settles down, marries, and has a daughter, I think is like that's really sweet too. And you're like,
it is.
I raised that boy. I did that when I was like 12.
You know what they should have done is they should have made him a trainer, where he trains your stats and gives you attacks and stuff. I think that would have been
in the time skip. Oh yeah, that would have been cool.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Anyways,
return to the ops guy.
You again? Didn't you hear me?
We'd like to enter the race properly now.
Really now? Well, that's an entirely different story. Ready to begin?
We didn't get a yes/no prompt. Select yes to continue.
All right, to the starting line.
This cues up the race minigame, with Hero sitting astride the Griffahump, who is barely larger than his owner. The race itself involves running to the right-hand side of the screen as other racers try to jump on or over us. We're ranked as we go, and we must be in one of the top 3 places in order to win the minigame. Failure to do so drops us off where the start of the race, and a hero mumbling something about not being on his A game today. Clearing in higher ranks nets us better money and item rewards, but nothing worth freaking out over just yet. But they do get better as the plot progresses. If we manage to win in first, second, or third, we reach the chapter's end. Narrator, and thus, Hero and his party, riding gallantly atop Stinky, gracefully coast across the valley. What awaits them ahead? Only time will tell. We then get the Griffahump Feather, a key item we can use to access the virtual pet minigame from anywhere, anytime. Don't forget to feed him! And that's the end of Chapter 4.
Chapter 5. My little sister can't be this Rigvedic. Yes, this was an Oremo reference. Bear in mind, once again, this is 2012. Before we begin, I got this from Pal's own podcast. The Kimiawa minigame is actually the harder of the two options opened to the AQ1 player. This is because, while it doesn't allow for later paths open with the Griffahump, it does grant Kimiawa massive stat bonuses, and also gives her the Hitsune color, an item which not only grants her even larger bonuses, but also reveals her darkest secret, that she, too, is a chimera.
Since you spent so much time to help me, I wanted you to know this.
Eh?
Pulls out a fluffy tail from behind her.
I'm actually a chimera. My family doesn't like me showing it off. They said I should try to be human.
I don't think much about it. Heck, I don't think there's a true human on our team.
Aw, Hiro-kun!
The two hug as Ozma glares from the corner with the true human glaring over her. So yeah, it's kind of cute. Not the monstrous misogynist exercise in subjugation that Amelia Sardinian, that feminist has-been, posits. Of course, this is also the minigame where Hiro dresses up in a jogging suit and quotes Rocky, so... Returning to the game, we then get another cutscene. Bestest brother and sister combo, Zodon and JD.
So, brother, it seems that the Light Pudding Direct has gathered quite the army. He's captured 2 of the talismans and proceeded to trek towards us even now. He seems quite driven.
No matter. We still have the ace in the hole. How goes the work to sway Toneland to our cause?
Well, I'm working on it.
Yeah, working it, you mean?
Kodash, show yourself!
Not just me.
3 shadows appear.
Ah, your 4 heavenly kings.
4 kings and 1 queen!
Then it removes the entire motif. Just roll with it, Curie.
Ugh. No matter. Go take care of them. I'll be along in a moment.
What exactly are you doing in Toneland?
Well,
I
think a
actually
better
thought...
question is, what are you doing in Kate's Crossing?
Oh, that's a good question. The mad snow required further investigation, and I just happened to be in the neighborhood.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I actually
We
thought the
then-
question marks was like a random dark pudding soldier, so I kind of just gave the Jimmy voice to Kodas, and yet it's completely in character for him to sound like that.
Yeah, he's kind of a giant nerd, so besides, if I dies like in this chapter, so
Yeah, he
don't
doesn't
worry,
hang
you're not
around
gonna have
long.
you're not gonna have to do it long. None of the 4 heavenly kings, except for Cord, really last
Yeah.
much longer, or
Yeah.
really leave much of an impact. Anyways, we then assume control of the party at the far end of the racing bridge,
Rakigne.
Rakigne Bridge from Chapter 4. Good job, past me. There, we're in a large desert. You'll note that the desert saps out slowly so long as you're on the sand. The trick is to go towards the cave to the southeast. This heat is oppressive. My hair is going to go limp.
Hiro-kun, can't you do something?
Just suck it up, all of you. We can do this. Ozma, you're beat red. Are you okay? Anyway, we need something to help us. I know! You do? Yes, it's a great treasure. But one thing, only I can go to get it. The lands I'd be going to are secret.
Okay.
Go ahead. We'll be here.
Hi, the resty.
I guess we're staying here. Fine.
You then control only Mancala, who apparently is voiced by Melissa Fawn this chapter. Proceed to the left to a pool of water which connects to the oceans you were in before. Return to Mermania. Go back to... There, an elderly merman is crying. Talk to him to proceed. A blue.
Guild Patriarch, what's the matter?
Oh, Mancala. You're like a tax hike on my asset. How about this insane revenue cut that's already struck?
Oh no! Is there anything I can do?
I'm not sure how, but my assets are being attacked. The Stone Lord Cord, you know that one guy that they just mentioned? Those two writer guys? He summoned the Grim Reaper to slay all my assets and plummet Mariculture's economy right into the deep trench.
Oh no! I must stop it!
I don't see what a conniving woman like you would act altruistically for.
Hey! Well, okay. But I know someone who will, and you need me to get them.
I'll give you 100 gold to get them to fight. You are then given the choice between accepting the money or haggling.
100 pocket change. I'll have to swim all the way back, and that's hard.
200! Another accept or haggle choice.
200? Jeez, that's hardly an improvement. I could make that setting up a lemonade stand.
400! Yet another prompt.
Eh.
You are a giant, colossal pain in my butt. 800!
Deal.
You then have to return to the cave. You'll probably notice at this point that Mancala on her own is pretty terrible in battle, but that's neither here nor there. Talk to Hero to proceed.
Well, I have good news. You found the item to let us travel across the desert. What? No. I got us a job. Wait, what were you doing? Relax. I need to grease some palms. If we do this, it'll be easier.
And whose palms need greasing?
Shut up, you greaser reject, and help me.
Mancala returns to the party, and now Ditaku is wondering what Loyrol actually looks like. I've never actually sat down and drawn him, so...
We'll have to do something about that. Quick, everyone in the comment section, draw fan art about what you think these characters look like.
Yeah, I am kind of curious. I mean, because I have some idea for certain characters, but yeah, for others, I'm like, honestly, I don't really know.
Like, I remember us doing some rough sketches for Hero, so I think like Hero has a more or less established design, but most everyone else is kind of a huge question mark.
Yeah. Enter the pool that Mancala left from and return to Mermania. Talk to the Patriarch. These are your soldiers? They don't look so tough.
Relax. Where's this Reaper?
Last I heard, he was going to slay a miner in Dun Falafel. Dun Falafel. To the northeast. That miner owes me 60 trillion.
I don't think we ever bring that up again. What did he do? Why does he owe him 60 trillion? What happened here?
I would assume gambling debts. I mean, to be
Probably.
perfectly honest, the mermaids are basically like supposed to be the Gobi tribe,
Yeah.
and they're kind of mercenary D-bags.
Yeah, no, they definitely are.
I mean, even to the point that, like, as I recall, a ranger saw what we had written and then saw the original Japanese version of this entire exchange, and he's like, how did you guys know this? It's like, because Gobi is a mercenary ale.
Because we just guessed what Gobi would say in character, and we happened to be completely spot on.
Yes.
We got this. Be sure to have the cash ready.
Yeah, whatever. Wow, Patriarch. Anyways, go north to the ridges north of Mermania. Although, go east where you can't go north any longer. Go east when you can't go north any... Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, I would expect an
You
L
go
turn.
find a cave by the coast. Welcome to Dun Falafel, city of Chimere. Dun Falafel. Dun Falafel has an impressive upgrade set for everyone. Grab an Auric Saber for Hero. That's Orichalcum Saber, by the way. Knuckle Duster for Ozma. No Dachi. That's a funny joke because it literally is no
in all capitals, for Kimyawa, and a fish stick. It's literally fish ST as one word for hero. I assume it's supposed to be a sword because it's for hero and Loyroll.
No, that would have to be armor.
Oh,
The Orichalcum Saber was Hero's weapon upgrade.
oh, that's true. It's fish shirt, I'm sure.
Oh, shirt. Okay.
Yeah,
Undershirt.
fish shirt.
Yes.
Yeah, for hero and Loyroll. Ah, doy. See, this is the issue. Even we don't know it. We wrote this.
We wrote this and even we have no idea what we're doing.
Yeah, to find the miner, he's in the West House. Oh, this is one of my favorite parts. Doctor, this is no use. He's going to die in the hour. But doctor, all you did was check his pulse. I think his presence here makes it a foregone conclusion. Hello.
Tell my ma, lover, would you?
Yeah, sure, kid. Can you guys get out of this? Can you guys get this out of the way? I gotta rip this sumbitch. By all means, Mr. Reaper.
Stop right there!
Mm-hmm. You would try to stop me, but why? Why stop a natural course? All die within time.
Why? Why? For money, of course!
Boss battle! Grim Reaper! Life points 12,000. That's really low for a natural force of death. Magic points 6,000. Grim Reaper's kind of a chump, I guess. Grim Reaper's an annoying jerk because he spans death, kill... Oh, now I remember why we gave him such little health. Death, kill, and break, all of which have chances to instantly kill characters. But also, don't use any weapons that inflict death, such as Decap Shuriken for Mamania, as they instantly restore him to full health. Just stock up on smelling salts, and he's no trouble. End boss battle! Fine. You crazy people can have it. I'm gonna go rape an old cat.
Aw, shucks. Thanks, folks.
Yatta!
Okay, so we did what you asked. How does this get us an item to travel across the desert? Hello? Y'all listening? Watching there, hero. Oh, y'all are leaving. Okay, I'll be here. I'll just take a nap.
Return to the Patriarch! I just heard! Congratulations, you she-devil! Here's your cash.
Here's the thing. I did so much work, so now the deal is the money and the magic fan.
Wait, what?
No, we can go back and kill that miner if you want.
Fine. Here's your fan. Now get out.
Wow, Mancala, that was, decidedly mercenary. Let's go, goons!
You then return to... I can't really fault Hero there. You then return to the desert, and upon entering it, Hero holds the fan aloft and then switches it off. Yes, it is in fact actually an electric fan.
Desk fan.
Hmm?
It's like it's a desk fan, and you just hold it up and turn it on.
Yeah. Whereas, bear in mind, in the Breath of Fire, I believe it's supposed to actually just basically be like a palm leaf. It's a reference to Journey to the West, which has a similar weapon, where it's a palm leaf that could, whip up a hurricane. You now don't take any damage, but there's also a large dust cloud flying around in the desert. If you encounter it, you'll discover its source, the giant, dark-pudding motorized army. So do you want to be the soldier or the next Praetorian?
I'll do the next Praetorian.
Sir, we found the light-pudding army!
Splendid! Inform Lord Cord.
Sir!
So, are they gonna come closer, or...?
The dark puddings begin firing upon the party.
Back to the cave!
You're then returned to the cave from before.
We can't go back now. What do we do?
Go deeper into the cave. After dropping to the second floor, you'll drop into it to enter a recurring area, the Arrow Spire. Arrow Spire. The Arrow Spire is a large cavern. All plateaus the party can walk. You get prompts to jump over from one to another. The prompt is a swinging blades that damage you should you get hit. That makes sense. They don't give you kisses or hugs. On top of that, the enemies shift from giant bats and cave trolls to magic munchkins and ghostomancers, magical enemies who love to attack you with party-wide spells. After reaching the end, you'll find a flashing phantom. This is a reference to Breath of Fire 1 that tried to mimic transparent layers by basically having the sprites flash like very rapidly. I don't know why they did it that way, because the Super Famicom can actually do transparent layers.
Shrug.
Shrug.
Halt! You
Oh.
cannot pass. Past here
Oh.
is the ancient sage. Wait, like ancient sage that crafted the talismans in the long ago days? Yes. However, to get to her, you need to get past me. Seems fair, I guess. Really?
Pretty much, dead son.
True.
Okay then.
This is a very agreeable boss battle.
It is.
And yes, this is in fact a boss battle. Phantom times 1. Light points, 18,000. Magic points, 10, just 1,000, not
1,000.
10,000.
Yep.
Phantom is nothing new. He enjoys blasting you with light and earth spells, which occasionally striking with egg hitter. This is a reference to Breath of Fire 2, where there is a continuous attack called, well, it's translated as basically EGBETR, which I believe is supposed to be like, I don't know if we ever, got a confirmation, but I always kind of assumed it was egg beater.
Egg beater. Yeah.
But apparently it's actually supposed to be just continuous attack in Japanese. A multi-hit physical skill, which also has high critical chance. Fight as you normally will. End the boss battle!
You have proven your worthiness. You may proceed.
Inside is a large bed where a chimera woman is sleeping peacefully.
Oh dear, she still hasn't awakened.
He pokes her, claps his hands, and smacks her with a pot. Nothing rouses her.
1 second. Ghost!
A palette swap of Phantom appears. Yes, Phantom.
We have worthy ones here. Help me wake her up.
You mean?
Yes.
The two of them then assume positions around her and blast her with electricity. The woman jumps up.
What? Who?
Mistress Dama, we have worthy ones here.
Worthy, huh?
Appears a hero.
What do you want, hot stuff?
Yes, well, we were stuck down here because of the Dark Pudding Army and...
Dark puddings? So the time has come at last. I assume you're light puddings then?
Well, I mean, I am, yes.
Well, that settles it then. I'm going to help. What we need is a lava worm.
Another fetch mission?
Relax, relax. I got it right here.
She produces a brown orb from behind her back.
All we need is to put it in a volcano.
Now, the normal thing to do is to return to the surface and go south. Not go back to the volcanoes near Zayas and Heston, although that does merit a surfing game in the remake where a hero and company surf a stone slab over lava back towards the desert. There you'll enter Mount Metalgi. Mount Metalgi. Yeah, I don't know if this was a reference to anything.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of assume that it probably is. That's a pretty cool name. The mountains is home to a good number of fire-themed enemies, including flame munchkins, toasties, and hella goodbyes. Funny. From the start point, proceed east and north as you work your way to the heart of the volcano. From there, Dama will drop the egg in. With that, walk out.
So, how do we know it worked?
Relax, relax. It totally worked.
The Dark Pudding Army drives up.
Ah, you just don't learn, do you?
Volcano explodes, and a large writhing worm made out of fire descends upon the army.
I suppose an apology is in order.
Apology accepted.
Oh God, it's eating me! Fa ice sabers the volcano worm, which explodes into steamy chunks. I'm okay!
My army!
Boss battle! Praetorian Fa! Light points, 22,000. Magic points, 15,000. Fa abuses ice armor and ice saber. You could say she's a pretty cool dude. Skills which counterattack with Water 1 and heavy physical water-themed damage. The best option is to counter here is to throw up Kim Yawa's Aqua Veil to lessen the oomph of her skills and to abuse Loy Roll's Whirlpool Hero, nothing too bad. And boss battle!
Ah, brothers, I will join you now.
Explodes. ...
Nothing? Nah, I'm over it.
Sourpuss. Well, that's that. If you need anything else, feel free to call. Bye-bye!
Dama then leaves. This is a reference to Breath of Fire 1, where
Gaius
Deus,
just
the magic sage,
leaves.
yeah, she just kind of leaves, and then you have to go get her again. It's kind of annoying. Now, without any other obstacles, you can go west across the desert. There, the terrain shifts into greenlands with farms here and there. If you talk to the villagers, you'll learn that the Dark Puddings were using their technology to restore the desert to arable land. And there was a Dark Pudding noble in the Hell Garden Keep further on. Hell Garden Keep. The overgrown castle is filled with plant monsters, making Kimyawa useful here. Seriously, when is Kimyawa ever not useful? She's like the only attack mage.
I mean, true.
Editorializing aside, with her many thriving attacks, once you reach the second floor, however, you get to a large plaza where four robed figures were line dancing with JD.
JD, where's my sister?
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, guys, looks like they finally came in.
The four figures take off their robes, revealing a short, fat man in blue robes and a turban, a tall, blonde woman with long razor nails, a chiseled man without a shirt, and a short blue man with a monocle. Short blue man.
Okay, who?
Kodas, this is you.
Ah, yes.
Kod-
Biomancer Kodas!
Dream Magister Moat.
Star Lady Curie.
Stone Lord Cord.
And me, Piedmon. JD, I've been waiting, Light Pudding. Show us what progress you've made.
All on you, boss.
Yes, I'm not big on a physical presentation.
Yes, I painted my nails, so no.
I'll help!
Yeah, no.
You four. Boss battle! JD. JD Varashoan. I don't think we've ever actually mentioned this up to this point that she actually has a middle name. Life points, infinite. Magic points, infinite. Theme song, not infinite. Better late than never. This is Netcom's obligatory force loss battle. Again, she'll engage Figgy Pudding and destroy you with ease. End the boss battle!
Ooh, ooh.
Yes, you can have them, Kodas.
The party is then seen in a lab tied to slabs where Kodas flutters about.
I wonder what would happen if I feed you this shrinking potion. Whatever. Well, it takes a while to take effect, so I'll see you in 30.
He then leaves, and the party begins to shrink. What did he think would happen? Are you just gonna stay there? All right. Anyways, you then fall to the floor. Free. This was kind of short-sighted.
Kodas
They
is
apparently
really dumb.
Yeah, he is kind of dumb. Go north to a crack in the wall. But this is literally what happens in Breath of Fire 1. So inside is a village of mice, which are revealed to be escapees from Kodas's experiments. There they have an inn and an item shop. Also, in the back is a mouse who mourns his... I don't know how to say this.
Catasation? What were you
yes, it's
trying to
literally
write?
It's a portmanteau, a panacea, and Parmesan cheese. So I guess it would be panation. Yeah, I guess that's probably the closest. Panation cheese. A cheese so good it cures any illness. That sounds pretty good, actually.
Yeah, it does.
He then mentions that the cockroaches took it, who live among them on the next level of the castle. You then need to exit the village and go east into another crack in the wall. Continue up, going through the insulation in the wall until you enter a room. Follow around the discarded vinyls, books, and clothing items until you see the resident.
This room seems pretty girly. Is this?
JD walks in. In the US version, she's wearing jammy jams. In the Japanese, she's in a t-shirt and her undies.
God's above those idiots. Oh well, time to crank the tunes.
She turns on her stereo and begins to do a dance.
Oh crap.
You now need to avoid the flailing dance move. If you get hit, it's an instant game over. Thank goodness for the save point that drops immediately after the cutscene. The worst is the fact that if you take too long, it becomes impossible to exit. As JD plops down, her butt blocking where you need to go. Thus, go as fast as you can to find another village, this time of cockroaches. Attention all! This is the cockroach leader, by the way. The goddess of destruction has resumed her dance. We will now sacrifice the cheese stolen from those foul animals. Appease her.
Not so fast! Wow! My heart! So manly!
Yeah, cockroach cheese.
Cockroach Knights to battle! Another boss battle! Cockroach Knights. Times 6. Each Cockroach Knight has 4,500 life points and 2,000 magic points. By themselves, they're not so hard, but together they tend to run ragged on people. The best option is to whirl with Ozma and smash each knight in turn. If you keep them all alive, they will use Swarm on you, which inflicts heavy magic damage and a random status. And a boss battle!
What's next, Joe? Get so hasty. Take the cheese.
Thank you.
The boss, the boss who leaves, is not part of this. The party all eat the cheese and they grow in size, producing a bang which gives pause to JD's gyrations as the party falls onto the floor below.
Where did they go?
The party falls on him.
You!
Heavenly King Kodas. He has 27,000 life points and 9,600 magic points. Kodas isn't so hard at first, casting second-tier magic. When you take off half his life points, he then uses Kodas drinks the poison.
Poiton. The Poiton.
No. Actually, that we need to keep it like that. That's important.
That's actually how it's supposed to be spelled. It's supposed to be Poiton, not potion.
And mutates into a horrible leafy plant monster. This raises all his attacks and gives him the obnoxious whiny attack, which hits all targets for earth damage, and also the spore attack, which causes red, and also a lot of disappointment. So much disappointment. Smack him down as you would any other plant monster. End boss battle. Falls over and dies.
So, what do we do now? I hadn't thought that far ahead, so we jump.
The party then jumps out the window. And that's the end of the chapter. We have to end every bit where they just get thrown through the air. So
Or something like that.
Point, we're like, you know what? I guess we gotta jump.
Guess I'm gonna have to jump. Oh, this is one of my personal favorite bits of the game. So I'm very happy we're here because now
Hero will return in Dangeresque 3, Dangeresque 2.
Chapter 6: Masochism meets Machismo. The party is very violently ejected over the horizon. Why? No one knows.
Hey, they jumped really hard, okay?
The camera pans overhead some distance to a small island.
All right, just so everyone's aware, this happened like 2 years after our last update, and it literally was a situation where Snek and I just got in contact with each other, and we basically just had like this week-long situation where we were just like constantly doing things together because of it.
Yep.
And one of which is like the last 4 bits of Amazing Quest.
Very rapid-fire succession, no less.
Mm-hmm.
The camera pans overhead some distance to a small island out in the middle of the ocean where we couldn't get previously due to a coral reef and a dialogue box explaining how there's a migratory wave of sea sponges and that it's highly illegal to interfere with their trek. That's actually a Ghostbusters joke, believe it or not. The party comes crashing down to the roof of the inn, whereupon the innkeeper, a slim woman in a white and black horizontally striped shirt and a tilted beret, rushes over. Unlike other characters in the game so far...
I remember what part this is now.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh no, we are, if we don't get in trouble, Sardinian, we're getting in trouble for this, man.
We're an hour in. According to my statistics, everyone has stopped watching, so... Leave a comment down below. Are you still listening? An hour and 11 minutes into this recording? Probably less for you at home, but for us, it's an hour and 11. Unlike other characters in the game thus far, this character and others in this town had their dialogue appear on screen little by little, accompanied by a MIDI attempting to sound like bongo drums accompanying beat poetry, even when you have your text speed set to its max. So am I doing this, or are you?
I'll be the innkeeper.
All right.
Well, are you lot okay?
I think so. I think I have the right number of body parts remaining. Why does that keep happening? What even happened? Where are we?
Welcome, my groovy soul sisters, to Toneland, the hippest, most forward-thinking culture on the entire planet. You are safe here.
Thank goodness. Having landed in enemy territory, we have been overtaken easily.
I didn't mean you, man-thing.
Beg pardon?
As I said, we are forward-thinking culture, free from the restrictions placed on us by the pale, patriarchal, pale, phallus people.
I'm at a loss for words, I'm afraid.
Good, your ungroovy way of speaking is such a downer. Lucky for you, I am bilingual, but the people of this country speak only beat poetry and interpretive dance. If you want to get anywhere, you need to speak. You want at least a set of bongo drums and a beret, no?
Laurel, this one's all yours.
You're all my friend. I'm just gay. I'm not a beat poet.
This game was actually considered extremely revolutionary because of this line. Fun fact. So, now we can stay at the inn, if we put Ozma, Mancala, or Kimyawa on point to do so. She'll scoff at any attempts made by Hero or Loyrol. And if we do so, she'll actually explain...
Are we going to even begin to try and do the synchronized voices?
No, because it's supposed to be an either-or scenario. It's just supposed to be like any of these characters would speak that dialogue for this bit. If you guys are reading along, you'll see what we're talking about, because Kimyawa, Ozma, and Mancala actually share this dialogue. So, but you're doing the innkeep, so I'll just do Ozma's voice for this. So, where would we get bongos and a beret at this hour?
Well, these items aren't just for sale.
Giant lie.
That's a lie. Yes.
You need to find a special custom-made gear found only in select locations.
What locations are those?
You know them by their extremely pretentious attitudes and overpowered smell of overpriced coffee. That's all I can say for now, no?
Here, an optional scene can queue, if you opted to erase Kimyawa in the virtual pet minigame instead of Stinky. Okay, you heard her. Can you get the scent, girl?
Yep.
Okay, you got it? Go get it!
Yep.
Kimyawa points to the west wall with a MIDI of yipping and queuing as she does so. That's a Cave Story reference. Good job! West? Mermania's to the west, and they do have overpriced coffee. It's a start. One more question.
Hi?
What does the fox say?
It says don't be a racist, you... Bleh.
I was just curious. Kimyawa then rushes over and climbs up, sitting on Loyrol's shoulder as she pouts.
There, Kimyawa. I'll get you some ice cream later.
Hi! Ice cream des.
This was likely added to help the player along, as there was otherwise a bit of a guessing game. When you leave this town, the sea sponge migration has ended, and you can freely go to Mermania again, where there is, indeed, a coffee house. However, we have more pressing matters to attend to, and the plotline in Toneland cannot be triggered until we do it. Remember how Dama left before? Well, we need to go get her again, and this time it's permanent. So remember where we found her last time? The Arrow Spire? Guess where we're going! This time, however, we can just walk in and find her in her bed asleep. Dama, are you serious?
Damn it, Chan, wake up. The game devs almost forgot to put you in this chapter.
That's actually a meta joke, because as I was writing this, I was going to include a line from Dama, and Itaku was like, she's not in the party right now. And I'm like, what do you mean she's not in the party right now? And he's like, she left. That's what happened the last time we saw her, is she just bugged off. And I'm like, oh crap, I have to do something about this. So I added that line as a nod to the fact that I almost skipped over Dama's recruitment.
Well, because the thing is in Breath of Fire, basically, as I recall, in Breath of Fire 1, basically she leaves, but you can like immediately go back to her tomb and just get her again.
Yep.
So it doesn't really matter. So
Dama's hand
yeah.
raises up, pointing to a note on the far wall. Hiro goes over to read it. It says, I am asleep due to a horrible curse, and only a noble knight's kiss can undo the spell. Wait, this wasn't here before. Hiro flips the note over. And no amount of sass will get you around it either. This sure was a well thought out hoax. Well, obviously, it should be. At this point, you're prompted to pick one of our party members. If you pick Hiro. What? Why me? I'm not really noble, and I'm not a knight, strictly speaking. That mandates being, knighted by, royalty.
Well, Ozma's royalty, so doesn't that by extension make you her knight?
Uh, well, oh, fine. Hiro goes to Dama, visibly taking in a deep breath. Only because it's helping someone. It's helping someone in need, right?
Yeah, helping with Tama's adult needs.
Hiro
This
bends.
is Kimyawa's inner monologue, by the way.
Kimyawa is deeply unhappy about this. Hiro bends down and pecks her on the cheek. He then rises and waits a moment.
I mean, she, literally psychologically scarred her daughter in Amazing Quest 2 due to the fact that her husband is not Hero, so...
Right.
Yeah.
Did it not work? Maybe I am underqualified for this position after all.
Seriously? That's all I get? Not even on the mouth?
Oh, yay. Dama's now safe. Clearly, this was in no
What did I
way
say about...
predictable.
And what did I say about sass? I mean, the node. Say about sass. I swear, every freaking time the world is in danger from some amorphous evil entity, you all crawling to me like, oh no, save us, Dama-sama. And I'm like, aight, bitches, stand aside. And then we win, and you check up with the nearest princess you could find, and I'm left with reruns of the WWE. There's no justice in this world.
Man, Dama. You got some pent-up frustration to work through in more than one sense.
A little.
Just a little.
Just a little.
If you pick Ozma, okay, baby, here I come. Say, what? Ozma just grabs Dama's head and locks lips with her, and rather roughly. Dama visibly... Dama visibly flails her arms helplessly here. After a few moments, Dama goes blue and her eyes roll back in her head as she falls limp. At this point, Ozma releases her. So that's what you get for being stupid about this.
You do realize that someday you're gonna die of a broken pelvis, right, Hero?
What? If you pick Kimyawa...
Atashi? But I've never kissed a boy before. Wait, she's a girl. Therefore it's okay. Okay, I'll do my best.
That's logic, everyone. Kimyawa ninja warps atop Dama's bed.
That's ninja logic.
She chucks a smoke pellet to the ground, which grays them out for a moment. When the smoke stream dies down, Kimyawa has her hands on each side of her face, blushing. Dama is sitting upright, a shocked expression on her face.
What just happened to me? And why am I okay with it? Wow.
If you pick Loyroll.
Ugh. Must I? Well, but you owe me for this.
Hey, asshole. Kissing me is a privilege.
You want me to kiss you? Fine. I shall do so with utmost style and grace, but surely and purely to prove a point. Huh?
Loyroll leans in, and a brief animation of him licking Dama's nose plays.
Yup. Still got it.
If you pick Mancala. Wait, me? Why me? I already told you I'm only a little into girls. Fine. Mancala climbs astride Dama and seems to get a little too into it. You can stop now. It said just to kiss her, not play tonsil hockey. Sorry, I just started thinking about the money this scene could make in the long run, and it just got my motor going.
Is this all I am to you? Just a cash cow? Well, okay, but I better get a cut too.
Something, something. There certainly is a cow involved. Something, something.
Trying to cut into my bottom
Dang,
line?
literal.
Yeah, this is pretty brutal. Trying to cut into my bottom line? Sorry, it's not me, it's you. Sadly, New Game Plus characters don't get their own scenes. God only knows what would happen if you tried to make Dama make out with herself. At any rate,
My own clone. Finally, neither of us will be virgins.
at any rate, Dama rejoins, this time for keeps, and at long last you can finally return to Mermania. Inside the coffee shop, you'll see a merman barkeep, and we'll need to speak to him. Yo, barkeep, dimple of coffee, 3 layers of foam and cinnamon sprinkled on top.
That'll be 25,000 currencies.
Whew, must be a sale on right now.
What do you want, Manny? Last time I worked with you, I spent 4 months in community service before I could reapply for my vendor's license.
The past is in the past.
That was 4 months ago.
God, you're so overly pedantic. I just need to know where I can get my hands on a set of bongos. You're gonna tell me, or do I need to tell the health department that you spell it espresso?
Hold on.
That's me
Sorry.
making a comment. People are stupid and don't know how to spell espresso. There is no X in espresso.
Yes, I'm sorry. I just I tried to scroll down, and of course my tablet immediately oh, you want to edit things? I'm like, no, I don't. Anyways, sorry. There's no need to get violent. You did not hear this from me, but in the kelp fields of the northeast, there's a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy who can get you your damnable bongos there. Now, out. I don't want the fuzz to think that I'm still on board with your scheme.
Thank you. Mancala, what kind of schemes is he on about? Gee, I don't know. Maybe like the time she shilled us and then sold us for chump change to the village head. The past is in the past. Let's go to the kelp fields. The kelp fields were an area we could have visited prior to now, but the enemies had been too strong, and there wouldn't have been anything there but a few mundane healing items in the chests for our trouble. Once we have this bit of intel, we can go there, and a blue whale with a beret, not dissimilar to the one seen in Toneland, and Otto the octopus await us. Oh no, not him again!
That's right, me again. Let's welcome our very pudding hero friends.
A burst of confetti rains down as weird pixelated fish come on screen and shake in wild applause again.
That never will cease to mystify, will it?
Eto.
The fish retreat to whence they came.
Today's Lucky Bonus Challenge, the competition of luck and reflex to get your very own custom-fit bongo drum set. Today's hero's challenger is none other than Where for our competitors.
Is this actually happening? Or has my life become a long-running fever dream? Should I pinch you to find out? I'd rather you didn't, actually. Hero hurriedly runs to the stool on the opposite side of the table from Wally the Whale and sits down.
Oh, you're my challenger, eh?
Well, he just said you're my...
Well, I won't go down easy, you hear?
I do hear you. I'm less than 4 feet away. There's really no need
I
to
will
yell...
crush you with my fins of iron and my buns of steel.
Do whales have buns?
The things that keep me up at night. Today's super lucky bonus challenge is Bingo!
Bingo? That boring game that Oba-chan liked?
A game of luck, a thrilling game of chance and challenge.
There's literally no challenge. It's all blind luck.
Yeah, let's rock! Wally is really too into this.
He really likes him some bingo. This minigame is dumb. I hate to say it, but it is. I even tried abusing this with save states, but the RNG is not player-friendly. You begin by picking one of 3 5x5 bingo cards with the Griffahump Stinky as your free space in the center of each. Then Otto reads out numbers, and you must, manually, move Hero's hand in order to place blue tokens on your card. You can also do this to also remove them if you place them in an incorrect spot, and you will, as Hero places tokens slightly lower than his fingers, aimed more under his palm, which the player cannot see for obvious reasons. Otto also does this slightly faster than the player can be expected to keep pace, as Hero's hands move very slowly during this bit. The devil of it is that if the card is incorrect in any way, such as having a token in a number not called, or not having a token in a space that was called, even if these have no impact on the results, you lose even if you get the bingo first. Oh my god, this is nothing but a colossal time sink. But eventually, if you keep trying at it, you will inevitably win, or go crazy, one or the other. On the bright side, losing just resets the game, and you just try it again.
We have a winner! Hero!
I'm glad. So, do I get the bongos now?
No way! You cheated!
How do you propose I did that?
I'll crush you!
Wait, what? Boss fight! Wally Whale.
No chill, this one.
No chill at all. Wally Whale, LP of 12,000 and MP of 5,000. This battle hits most by surprise, especially as there's random encounters and no save spot in this area, and Hero is forced into this on a one-on-one, hence the vastly lowered boss HP. Or LP, that should be LP past me. Wally mostly relies on his single punch attack, which does decent damage, but will sometimes shake it up with his aquatic Queller attack, which, oddly enough, is coded to hit all targets, meaning that it always deals 75% base damage, making it weaker than the punch. Hero can't use his swirls here, meaning you'll just be attacking normally. Low-level runners typically find this infuriating, however. I guess Snekcom just hates them. Grinding is love, grinding is life. Using your rice pudding form has Wally call you a huge nerd and bolsters his attack strength by 25%. End of boss fight.
No!
Wally then explodes. Well,
Exploding!
well, all right then. Do I get the bongos or not?
Here you go!
Hero gets the key item, custom bongos. While I'm here anyway, do you know where I could get a beret?
And there you have it, folks. Let's give a big old round of sound for our champion game show hero, Hero!
Cue the shaking pixel fish.
I will be seeing them in my nightmares, no doubt.
Are we done here?
That's a wrap, everyone. Good job!
Otto then scurries off screen. Now what do we do?
When the path forward is blocked, the logical thing is to double back to wherever we were before and see if new doors have opened in lieu of the closed ones.
Oni-chan, you mean you have no idea where we need to go and to just try every option until something works?
Yes, but I said it more eloquently, dear sister.
It's true, he did.
Boy roll.
This is the part that drove players insane. You actually do need to backtrack to First Town. Yes. Remember some 20 to 25 game hours ago, where the game started? That's where we need to go next. Haha, I hear some of you say. I've been level grinding, and now Mancala has the town step ability, meaning I can instantly warp there. Joke's on you. Well, I hate to break it to you, but you can't. You haven't slept in First Town's inn. You either had the Elder heal you, or you slept in Hero's bed, which the game doesn't register on account that the inn was destroyed at the time. Well, I'll just warp to the nearest town, and, Suddenly you realize the problem is most of the towns we visited thus far are now piles of rubble. Some of them because of us. So you better get to walking, champ. You'll find the nearest town is Terubal, which isn't as awful as walking there from Romania, but isn't exactly next door either, as Hero got there via speed of flight. But when we get there at this point, it's actually rebuilt, and it'll have an inn and everything. When you arrive, a cutscene cues even. Elder, I return triumphant, my allies in tow, The Elder is speaking to a young boy with a sword slung over his shoulder.
So now our previous last host, like a dead and buried, we need you, lad, to go bravely forth and... Oh, Hero!
The Elder very quickly kicks the boy into the nearest door and then stands in front of it.
Oh, good jokes, good jokes. What are you...
Oh dear. I think what little ego he managed to grow over this journey just came crashing down. Do you need a hug? Yes. All of them. Bring it in, you guys. Yes, even you, Loyrol. The party briefly encircles Hero, who jumps a little. The party steps back. Okay, that was super sweet up until one of you pinched my butt. Just, if you raise your hand and confess, I won't get mad. Who did it? Everyone in Hero's party raises their hand. I lied. I'm kind of mad now.
What a pleasant surprise to see you here.
Can it, old man? Do you know what I've been through? Do you know how many of my fellow puddings I've had to kill? That kid? That child? You think he can hack it? I've seen people explode. Explode! Can you explain that? I don't think you can. Or are you gonna feed me yet another non-answer, like when Amelia tried to tell me that puberty was a witch's curse that I'd have to shoulder like some kind of monkey's paw wish? Oh, and the property damage. I hope the world has an insurance policy taken out against me because lulz know they need it about now. Have you even seen a town come caving in around you while you were just minding your own business? It's like the gods themselves are saying, hey, did you get all the items and side quests? Golly, I sure hope so, because it's falling faster than the commodity market. Oh, and my pudding morph. You guys didn't even explain it to me correctly. Oh my, where do I even start there? My rice pudding form lowers my stats? I fuse with people? Did someone think to explain that part to me? No? Because I had the soul of one of my ancestors ask me to barter my friends' lives to find out. Just, lulz, damn it, old man.
I don't suppose I could bribe you with a sandwich.
Just stop talking. In fact, don't talk to me. Ever. You're dead to me, old man.
Oh, poop. I guess I shouldn't have told you about the lost treasures of our tribe then, because I had them on a rowboat. Suddenly, this beautiful mermaid comes out of nowhere, and I kind of dropped them. And now, due to mermaid magic, they all ended in different bodies of water across the planet. Totally not my fault, though. I was keeping them for, safekeeping. So let me make it up for you by teaching you the ancient pudding technique.
Okay, old man. It's not like I have a choice, given that I literally live in your house. What's the technique?
The pudding tribe prides itself on its masterful fishing ability.
I could lose a few hours of my life doing that.
And some years, too.
Pardon?
We don't use, sticks or twine or anything stupid like that. We place our arms in the water and flail them about helplessly until something takes a bite, in which case we pull them up via brute force. And that's how you go fishing.
Why is everything our tribe do stupid?
My boy, hero, my boy. This fishing is what all true heroes. Have you ever considered that maybe, one cow says to another, maybe it's the nature of our clan and that well, I bet you'd be perfectly happy being one of our dark pudding brothers. Shall I get you your own little jackboot so you can stomp all over the little guy's freedoms?
Oh, lulz, help me.
Oh, and one more thing.
What?
I turned your bedroom into my exercise room.
But what happened to all my comics and action figures?
Oh, those were all destroyed in the house fire.
No, my life's a joke. Hero obtained crippling depression. This isn't a special attack or an item or anything. It's a status condition. Hero is depressed, and this lasts for quite a while. It will randomly interrupt his normal attacks with Hero assumes fetal position and weeps openly about the future of his clan. Even Ozma's otherwise extremely potent Ki-Pow Boing Boing technique won't cure this, nor will Kimyawa's Fox Massage. However, this only lasts a set number of battles before he'll shrug it off, so it's better to get this as early as possible and get it out of the way. Is this another reason this fetch quest is considered to be the worst of all amazing quests? Anyway, now we actually can sleep in the inn here, making it so we can warp here at will, and sleeping at the inn just costs 5 gold. This is also the town where the other coffee house has now appeared, and the server here is not only a unique sprite, she eventually returned in Amazing Quest sister series, AQ Coke Float, Lady L. Who wants to voice Lady?
Welcome to First Town Coffee Hut. Farlux, I'm the host, Lady. What can I help you with? I'll have an inside-out, pudgy brunette frappo with an extra caramel macchiato blase half-calf.
Did you ask for a coffee or a girlfriend?
Did I or did I not already explain my preferences to you, hero? Oh, I can't stay mad at you.
Laurel pinches Hero's cheek. Blah.
We're looking for a beret, kind of like the one you're wearing. Oh, I got mine by getting a dream cookie.
So, where do we get one of those?
Oh, it's not that simple. You need to go get the dream cookie, which you go, and then you need to go to the birdhouse at the edge of tomorrow.
Are you sure this isn't a fever dream? I already pinched your butt. What more do you want from me?
Demo Asma-chan, dame, yamate.
Right then.
Gopi is Japanese.
Right. So this dream cookie.
Right. You get that by going to the world tree and then sleeping in the cocoon of the Grand Empress Butterfly. Simple as that.
Where's that?
Just head north and keep on walking. Can't miss it.
Right. Thank you. So head north. You'll find a handy bridge leading to a small island that was previously inaccessible. There, you'll find a huge tree and a path formed from crisscrossing roots you can now traverse. Some minor insect monsters appear here, but none are too terribly bothersome. Not that munchkin moss, kitty pillars, and were ants are all that threatening to start, but eventually you'll see a massive silk structure dangling from a branch above. Okay. I guess this is it. Can I get a boost? Ozma and Kimyala grab and toss Hero up into it. So, how is it? Warm? I guess. Kinda damp. Not wild about that, but guess I'll catch a quick power nap. The scene goes sepia, where Hero is sitting in the field with Amelia, having a picnic. Wow, spending quality time with my sister, and I'm not getting violently brained or ridiculed. This is going great.
Hero!
What? Hero snaps awake, blinking a few times. Oh, come on, that's it? I finally get a nice sepia tone flashback, and that's the extent? Nothing even really happened. The narrator just claimed stuff happened.
That's not important, my friend. Did it work?
Hero reaches atop his head, where a cookie sits. Apparently it did. Hero gets a dream cookie. He then climbs down from the sack, insert joke of choice here, but as he does, a shrill sound plays. Wait, what was? A massive purple butterfly dives down, engaging the party. Boss fight! Empress Butterfly, LP of 30,000 and MP of 7,000. The obnoxious part of this fight is that this butterfly can span pretty much every ailment with its ailment pollen attacks, where it brandishes them with abandon. Ozma and Kimiyama are basically not optional for this fight if you want a chance of not getting ailmented to death. Its means of dealing direct damage are quite limited, sans its antenna wave, which hits everyone for wind-based damage. However, using Ozma and Kimiyama's earth-based techs or Ozma's purring swirl and exploiting its naturally low physical defense is also a way to go. End boss fight. That was non sequitur.
There's no helping it. Let us return to the cafe for further clues.
And you do so. There, Lady will fill us in some more.
Great! You got a dream cookie.
Did you have to fight a giant bug to get one?
No? Why?
Just asking.
Now you need to go to the edge of tomorrow. You mean like staying up all night and playing truth or dare and waiting till midnight? No, not so much. I'd be lying to say I didn't try that too, but the edge of tomorrow is a real place. What happens at Girl Pudding Summer Camp stays in Girl Pudding Summer Camp. Anyway,
That's a brick. That is a major brick. The
Yes,
edge
it
of
is.
tomorrow is the deepest portion of the. Oh, I remember this. The portion on the ocean floor, the Marinara Trench.
Wait, did you go underwater?
Oh, that part of the ocean isn't underwater.
What?
Did I stutter? It's the marinara trench. It's not water, it's tomato sauce. Duh. Everyone knows that. Jeez. Did you fail geography? It's consistently ranked in the top 8 deliciously deadly dungeons to die for. Or in. Either or.
Actually, I'm pretty sure I know where that is.
Wow, you're gonna help and not chill us?
Hey,
Wait, is
hey.
that like the first time Dama has actually spoken?
Uh,
Wow.
yeah, I guess it is. Yeah, it is her first line of dialogue since recruitment. Okay.
Wow.
Hey, I can be very generous spirit when so inclined. That and you're probably
Sure, you can.
that you're probably afraid of Ozma turning you into a flail again.
Sashimi des.
Well,
Wow,
well, you can't be too careful. Let's go! Thankfully, we can actually warp to Romania for this part rather than walking again. You didn't need to head south towards a red cave. If you had tried to come here before, you'd be warned that you had not taken your heartburn medication and would be turned around. Venturing in now, however, will start ramping up the difficulty a bit with the likes of meatball munchkins, spaghetti serpents, and ravioli ravagers, and they do love them the red ailment among their numbers.
do you get the sense that Ditaku and Snek really like lasagna and pasta? Do you get that sense?
Just a bit. The upside is this is where the first real opportunity to level in this chapter comes, as it's the first set of monsters that are scaled to where we ought to be by now, and they drop copious amounts of cooled hankies, which will leave red in a single target. The problem you'll face is the cracks in the floor, which blast up with a sauce and deal damage if caught in them. The dungeon is fairly simple otherwise, if a bit long. When you get to the end, you'll encounter a massive cliff dropping into oblivion. So, where's this birdhouse? The screen rumbles as a massive, golden, crispy squid rises from below, a birdhouse perched atop its spear-shaped head. Ah, boss fight! The Great Calamari, who has 40,000 life points and 3,500 MP, and his two tentacles, who each have 10,000 life points and no MP. This deep-fried fishy fiend is a little tricky in that it's multi-bodied. The tentacles try to swat you and lower accuracy with their base attack, so they have to go first. If they peg you a few times, don't panic. Accuracy reduction wears off over time. The head itself is a good defense against magic and physical attacks, but none of his attacks are too overwhelming. Even his strongest move, Marinara Madness, deals only passable damage. If you take his tentacles out first, you shouldn't have too much trouble, but if they decide to be particularly petulant, this fight can drag out. The best thing to remember is that accuracy is reset if Hero swirl fuses or unfuses with his party members. End boss fight. Heroes of Destiny, you have proven your mettle before the Baron Calamari, and I offer you the birdhouse of your soul. Do as you see fit. Right. Thanks.
That's pretty deep. About 20,000 leagues, I'd wager.
Fun fact, leagues measure distance, not depth. Hero walks up.
Hey, so it could be distance. I mean, this could be a really deep part of, the world. This world's kind of messed up if you think about it.
Kind of is. Hero walks up to the birdhouse and puts the cookie in. After a moment, we hear a crunch.
Chocolate mines.
Yeah, the chocolate mines, man. We hear a crunch crunch sound, and out pops a beret. There are no words. Hero obtains beret. Now that we have these, we can finally return to Toneland and start the chapter. Oh, by the way, once you've finished all these side quests now, yeah? Just so you know, there's a shopkeep on the far right-hand side who sells beret and bongos for a price. Just FYI. So maybe now you'll learn to explore under your own power first before asking a guide what to do. But I doubt it. At any rate, we can buy some weapon and armor upgrades at long last, usually themed as music, weapon, and tone dresses, as the shops will not carry armor for the guys. At this point, we need to go up to the castle on the north end of town and the queen's assistant, Nagy. Alright.
Thank the gods! Because this is an old lady, as a...
Yep, she's like an old fart, yeah.
Oh, thank the gods! Some blessed visitors from beyond the sea have come to aid us in our time of crisis.
Do we really owe these broads anything? They haven't really been super helpful thus far. As Princess of House Terubal, I cannot overlook a crisis to a nation that might be in need. We need to hear them out.
You see, the queen, she has become completely smitten with a dark pudding general, and now she aims to just hand over one of Toneland's sacred treasures.
It almost feels wrong, though, to interrupt a young love. After seeing the kind of work they do, I have a hard time believing this love is anything but one-sided.
The one with the poor taste in gender is, and I say this begrudgingly, correct.
I didn't have a say in what I was born as.
Stop trying to mansplain to me, man thing. God, can you man things go not 5 minutes without trying to oppress someone?
This is not helping my inferiority complex at all. Casual sexism aside, what can we do to stop them? After all, a woman's heart is fickle but determined. If she has her eyes on someone, telling her she's wrong will only provoke her to pursue it more doggedly.
Maybe we could liberate the treasure first. What even is it? Why, the ancient sacred treasure of Toneland is, wait for it, the Wind Talisman.
Gasp! Who even said... Wait, no, we did that joke already. Disregard.
But it'd be even better if you took it, frankly. The problem is that only the royal family can access the royal vault using the royal tattoo.
Sounds very royal.
So it is, my strangely attractive misogynist.
Excuse me?
The royal tattoo is branded on the princess each generation.
Ah, like on her hand or arm or something?
No, on her butt. And though...
Boy, that turned awkward quick.
However, there is a way. We must. Are you prepared? Peep on her in the bath.
Actually, I have an idea, if I may. If someone has to tattoo the princess each generation, doesn't that mean there's some tattoo artist on this island that already knows this passcode hanging around somewhere?
You keep saying words, but I do not understand due to your gruff, oppressive speech.
I give up.
It'll cause a riot if Nietzsche and Tachi go in directly. We could cause a distraction instead and allow the boys to breathe properly.
What? I was thinking that Loyrol and I would be the distraction.
Indeed. Why are you giving us the boring job, dear sister?
It's funnier and adheres to shonen manga tropes better this way.
Must I?
Also, it's going to be hilarious when Ozma One-chan gets super ticked off. See, Nii-chan and I have a bet to see how many bricks she can break in one punch. I'm thinking about 20-ish, but he says about 15. So if I get her really mad...
Oh. Go.
Oh dear.
So the
So
party's...
remember how we said that Ozma is basically female Kenshiro?
Yeah. So the party splits up here. You take control of Hiro and Loyrol for a grand total of 10 seconds as you go through a side path that Nagi gestures towards. When you do so, the game suddenly swaps to Ozma, Kimyawa, Dema, and Mancala, who move to the right-hand side through a door that was locked previously. When you do, prepare for the mind screw, because this distraction portion of the plan is putting on an opera, recreating the love story between the Queen and the Dark Pudding, who is, in fact, JD. Yeah, the localized version of the game leaves that tidbit out, but this is, in fact, a lesbian love affair, as if Toneland has anything but I digress.
Hi-oh.
In the Japanese version, the point is to pick the line that forms a proper thematic haiku. This does not translate well at all, as this instead becomes a one-liner off between Ozma wearing one of the princess's dresses, stretched to its capacity, and Kimyawa in an outfit not unlike JD's, equally at its limit, while Mancala and Dema run around the stage trying to do the special effects. The song eventually degrades into a rap battle, with Ozma and Kimyawa trying to out-white girl each other. It's a thing of beauty and at the same time, completely horrible. Yeah, man!
Hell nah!
We are getting paid for this, right? Come on. Damn it. Once you've lost 30 minutes of your life redoing this segment, this is a reference to the opera in Final Fantasy VI. Let's be honest, no guide can save you here. You then get a timer for hero and Loyrol segments. The better you did, whatever arbitrary criterion the game uses to gauge that, dictates how much time you have to peep. Hero and Loyrol crawl behind some potted plants and hunker down. I feel like I need to be arrested for this.
Think about it this way. You could be playing Super World Urania game.
Yes, that would make me feel much worse. I suppose given that, I should be grateful.
Ah, here she comes now. Prepare your short-term memory, my friend.
Here, the game goes into a very uncomfortable first-person view, sort of like the movie-made game Triassic Zoo, and you have to time when you pop from your hiding spot to get a glance at her rear end. You can't actually see the code in this format, as this is limited SNES rendering capacity. It's more like looking at two peaches combat a mode 7 block of blue by, just rigorously slapping the crap out of it. The point is, by seeing her butt, you fill a meter at the bottom, and when it caps out, you're done with this quest, and the SNES's limited online capability automatically registers you to the FBI Sex Offenders Registry as a convenient sidestep. Welcome to 1992! The internet is here. I feel unclean.
As do I.
What?
I agreed with you.
You said ass.
I did no such thing.
But you did.
You just spelled butt wrong.
I did not. I dare you say you're trying to...
Daria, really now?
Damn it. I did say that, didn't I?
Let's agree to never speak of this again.
Agreed. The two depart. And the
Wow,
party...
what a weird thing to, bond over.
A shared hazing ritual of a sort. The two depart,
Yes.
and the party reunites back in the main floor area, meeting Maggie there. So, that was degrading in ways I never knew possible. But we're getting rave reviews.
Did Nietzsche and Tachi get the code?
We did. In order, green, blue, and red.
You know, we probably could have just guessed that.
Wasn't that what they did in the original?
No, I think they actually did get the code, and I think a very similar thing to what's about to happen actually does occur.
Quickly, while the castle is still distracted, now's your chance.
Sorry, I
Got distracted by all the butt jokes.
I mean, it's not armpits, but you know.
Maggie then automatically guides you to the vault. There, Hero enters the code. All right, that should do it. Why hasn't anything happened? Suddenly, 4 suits of armor that line the walls rush out and surround the party. What the? A trap!
A security measure? That must be the code. Wait, I get it. Because it's on her butt. That has to be put inside out.
Of course! It's brilliant! That way, only by getting her head out of her own butt can the plotline go forward! What? Suddenly. Okay, I have to explain this. In Breath of Fire 1, there's a part where you basically do what we did here, but with some minor modifications. I think the tattoo's on her shoulder or something. And there's this whole bit where they're like, you saw the reflection in the water, so you saw the code upside down. But it's like, but the angle you see it at...
I remember it's on her back, and so the entire thing is she actually has to look at it in a mirror, and so it's actually inverse to what it should be. But then Snek and Arranger and I looked at it and we're like, wait a second, no, if you're looking at the water, they still should be able to see it the way it should be. So
yeah, it would be upside down, not backwards.
Yeah. So
that's why I did the joke about getting her head out of her own butt. Suddenly, guards and the queen storm in.
How dare you! You are going to steal my sacred treasure, my gift to my one and only Jaybird!
You nicknamed her? Really?
Your entire drama troupe is totally getting a bad review on Telp now.
Listen, Your Highness, it's just that...
Look, he's totally oppressing me. You see it? You see it, don't you? Oh, gods above, shut your face! Or your butt. I frankly can't tell a difference in the two. And believe me, I've got a good look at both.
Wow, did you now?
Dang,
you're so self-righteous and full of yourself, you can't even see that you're being played for a sucker. But JD and I are going to get married, and we're going to have all of the babies. All of them. And you won't have any babies left. There will be no more babies. Baby is over.
That's a Twilight joke.
I'm going to ignore that entire sentence for your benefit. And beyond that, if the
Dragons?
Oh my god, dragons! If the dark puddings get what they want, you won't get a chance to have all of the babies. They're going to bring up great and terrible evil into this world. Believe me, I know. I know where she is. I know where she is. I'm spoiling things for you. You don't understand, woman! You are no one's gonna get married and living happily ever after if they get the talisman. Be a good little girl and give it to us nice and easy, or else Aunt Dama's gonna have to. You old sow! You don't know what it's like to be loved, you furry fossil! The fuck you say, ho!
Now, at this point in the SNES version, the scene just whites out. It's implied that Dama cast some kind of spell. In the GBA remake, we actually get an amusing cutscene that accompanies this moment, as we have a fly-on-the-wall moment over at JD's crew, riding on an airship towards Toneland.
Soldier! ETA!
About 30 minutes to Toneland, Lady JD.
Excellent. I'll have the wind talisman in no time at all.
Ma'am, quick update.
What is it?
The palace. It appears to be a huge white laser flies by the side window, evaporating birds that had been previously flying in the background. It appears to be exploding.
All right, gentlemen. Executive decision. Turn around. We're going back. Forward a message to Lord Zodon to stop by a mockbuster and rent something steamy for this weekend. No one's getting laid tonight.
The one with the, quote, hunky German guys.
You boys know me so well.
Back to the party, with the vault room now in ruins. The armor suits laid to waste. The vault door
that
is...
implies that Germany still is a thing.
Yeah, Yeah, I guess it does, doesn't it? That's a thing. The vault room is now in ruins. The armor suits laid to waste. The vault door is just gone. Dama's hair is erratic and unkempt as the women are running around the room wildly as Hero and Loyroll stand a safe distance away. Dama has the queen in a headlock.
Say it! Say how old I am! 95! Damn straight!
Should we be doing something?
I strongly advise against that, friend, and ruin my hair? Not in your life.
Dama-chan, stop it! Onegai, please! The whole building will come down!
Are you crazy? Stop it already!
I'm gonna kill this hoe! She's more pathetic and pandering than Kim Yawa! Hey! I only pander a little, a lottle, but at least I'm not some roided-up Amazon. Seriously, whose fetish is she trying to appeal to? Didn't you know that you get abs like that and that you can grate cheese on just by doing sit-ups and drinking juice? You should get a cute, smooth tummy like mine.
The hell do you just say? You can't even get your top in a top. If you want to talk about fake body parts.
Gasp! Oh, we already did that. Again. My opai are natural. You take that back. You bring shame upon Kim Yawa's Okasan, which we've never actually seen.
I don't even know what you're saying half the time. Are you even literate? This is seriously going straight to hell. Come on, Loyroll. Let's grab the talisman and just leave.
Slight problem with that, my friend.
Where do you two think you're going? Stand up for my honor.
Oni-chan, Saikyo no Senshi!
Oh, dear.
I'll pay you 30 zenny and 3 photos of Ozma and the buff if you side with me instead.
Hero, be a man, pick a side.
What? Why does this chapter hate me?
That is a good question.
The game pulls a fast one here, and will present you a 5-way prompt. These are 1. I side with Ozma. 2. I side with Kinyawa. 3. I side with Mancala. 4. I side with Dama. Why does every woman's name end in an A sound? Or, I have 3 remaining transformations.
That's a Tides of Destiny joke, which is a reference to Dragon Ball.
Yeah, I was about to say, that's a multi-layered one right there. I was playing Tides of Destiny, and I got second place in one of the events. I don't remember which. And one of the options you have to say is, I have 3 remaining transformations. And it just comes out of nowhere. It just got stuck with me. But you don't actually get even the chance to pick any of these prompts. It's immediately taken away from you. The astute hex editors among you will notice that even if you did try to run it, the next event would just queue anyway. The camera pans up a little above the dust cloud the cat fighter erupts into, as Curie, one of the heavenly kings of the dark puddings, casually strolls right in and just grabs the wind talisman from the vault stand.
Thanks for the gift. Bye-bye now.
No, that was one of the dark puddings we saw. Girls, stop. We have bigger problems to deal with. We sure do. How do you even stand upright with that frame, you damn coconut tree? Don't talk smack about it, you roid-raging berserker. You have, like, the second largest melons in this game.
Baka, jealousy is not kawaii. Hey, all this fighting has given me an idea for a new attack. I call this the Hisatsu Zenkai Suki.
Daemon, no!
Daemon, yes!
The entire screen whites out with a violent explosion sound effect. You're then informed that Damon's hilariously overpowered Hisatsu Zenkai Suki attack is now unlocked. The scene fades back in, the party in the castle's traction ward, everyone laid out.
For those of you who don't speak badly conjugated Japanese, I believe a ranger elucidated to us that that's actually certain kill love plow. A ranger, if I'm wrong, I misremember, please correct me. It's supposed to be like certain kill, like love death drill, but I think love plow is even funnier. So.
Yes, it is.
Get it. That was fun. We really need to get that inter-party tension out.
You're insane. You nearly killed us all, you know.
But I'd be lying if I said I didn't feel rather refreshed after all that.
Hi!
Now that you mention it. Here, we're informed the new team-wide attack, Girl Power, in the Japanese...
JP Lovely Death, Cherry Blossom Unyielding Death Force!
has now been unlocked. You can use it when your front line is the 4 ladies of our party. It deals massive non-elemental magic damage to all enemies and runs the risk of inflicting red on all targets. Not my idea of fun. Because we were busy bickering amongst ourselves, they got away with the wind talisman.
Most unfabulous turn of events, put mildly. What's the plan?
This can't be ignored. We have to pursue. Maggie walks in the door.
We're sorrowfully for this turn of events. Here, take this.
Hero gets the Dreamcatcher mirror. This is...
It allows one to view and subsequently enter people's dreams.
People's dreams. Not people's possessive dreams.
People's dreams.
It's the legendary artifact and treasure of our kingdom. My small way of saying please, never come here again. You are officially persona al gratin.
But that means shh. Just let her dream. At this point, there's actually 2 last areas in this chapter, and we can tackle them in basically any order we want. But let's get the worst of the 2 out of the way first. To ease our pain, we can go noodling in a nearby well and find the pudding shield for Hero. If we travel to the river encircling Tarubal, we can also get the pudding armor for him. There will be more later, but it's a tremendous boost in defense, and one he can carry well into the final boss. Now we need to go to Marmania, go north to the mainland, and then head west a ways until we hit the minor reservation, Diggold. Around here, though, if you head south through the small forested area, you can find another pudding shrine. This one's a little different in that you do not have to have the pudding shield. If you do not have the pudding shield, you cannot enter. Inside, Hero is split from the party by a transparent barrier and meets with the spirit inside. All right, I'm ready for this.
Welcome, Hero, son of pudding. I am Saint Tastius. In order to take your abilities one step further, you must meet my challenge head-on. Are you ready?
Almost. I have just one question before we do.
Okay, ask away.
Saint Tastius? Are you serious? More like Saint Tasty Less.
You're going to fight a giant emu now.
Wait, what? Boss fight!
Giant emu!
Giant emu! LP of 25,000 and MP of 5,000. Well, he was being honest. Giant emu is fast and will usually take its turn before Hero, who, as usual, cannot use his pudding forms worth using, and thus must prioritize healing as necessary to ensure the next round is not automatically fatal. The biggest challenge here is that while Giant Emu lacks special attacks, it will sometimes follow up its normal attacks with Pancake Batter, a follow-up move that deals 80% damage, meaning Hero is going to be bleeding LP throughout this battle. Heal often, and if you picked up any attack items, now might very well be a good time to utilize them. End boss fight. That was... okay. Tell me, what amazing ability fusion has been granted to me this time?
The newest member of your party may now fuse with you to create the trout pudding fused form.
That's a Earthbound reference. Sounds good. What's it do?
It will always deal critical damage to fish-type enemies.
And?
What?
And what else? Fish-type enemies only appear in one area of the game. We've been through there like a dozen times now. What else does it do? Oh gods. That's it, isn't it? You use this as a filler dungeon!
Yeah, sorry. Better luck next time.
What the hell is trout-flavored pudding anyway? Good grief. Sadly, this description is apt. It will do critical to fish-type enemies, but will not affect any other type at all. This pudding power is absolutely worthless. Anyway, now we can go dig old proper, which is a literal hole in the ground.
This is a reference to, I want to say, Gobies?
Yeah, Gobi's weird fusion form with Karn.
Yeah, he actually gets a couple of attacks which actually do significant damage to underwater enemies. The problem is that once you get it, you really don't ever need to ever
use it again. Yeah.
Diggle, this town is a town filled with miners. Town might be a stretch though. Civilization is kind of pushing it.
What's wrong with this place?
Well, look at it this way. It's a literal hole. There's not even electricity or AC.
But that wasn't even invented until the Industrial Revolution, and this is a swords and sorcery setting.
Yeah, sure it is. Cough.
I really hate it when you guys speak aloud onomatopoeia. Just saying. Howdy, folks. Welcome to Diggle, the proud capital of the miners.
Is it really a capital when it's the only city that you have your name?
Sure it is. You could even say it's a capital city. Get it? Because capital can also mean good.
So as I was saying, I really don't like this place.
We're then free to explore the holes in the wall that pass as the buildings here, and even get Loyroll the digger pants to make up for his not getting any armor upgrades recently. Once we explore the room on the right, we see more of the miner from before, laying asleep in the bed. I think they're all...
Well, oh yes, forgive our poor demeanor. We have a mighty pickle on our hands, and seeing as you're here, maybe you could lend us...
Sure.
Okay.
So, our dear lead miner Moore's fallen asleep into a deep sleep. It's a sleep, and we can't find any means to awake him. We'll fear a terrible curse has been placed upon him, especially considering the fact that, he got Grim Reaper up on him, and now he's, got him done ding dang dirt, got a magic sleep. It might be cursed.
I think I have just the ticket. At this point, the conversation would just very abruptly end if you came here before finishing Toneland's storyline. But as we have the Dreamcatcher mirror, Hero insists on butting in. He goes to Moore and holds up the mirror. I see a giant burning middle finger. No, wait, that's a field. Lined with skeletons.
Miner-kun was really into heavy metal.
Hey, yo!
Nani? Oh, I get it. Heavy metal. He's a miner.
Now you're getting into the spirit of our sophisticated sense of humor.
I see an island and a tower in the north. This is no ordinary dream. It looks as though some terrible force is keeping him locked in his sleep. We may have to use the mirror to enter in and directly intervene.
You better be glad that you're at least an 8, or I wouldn't even entertain the notion.
He's a solid 9, 10 if you get rid of the braids.
Damn it, Desu. The braids are kawaii.
Huh? Did you three say something?
Oh, nothing at all. No,
all right,
no,
let's prepare to enter into Moore's dream.
Does this smell like chloroform to you?
Huh, what an odd question. Prepare yourself and check Moore again. Hero will hand the mirror to a minor NPC, and the team warps in, arriving via singular bed. Oh, gods, my most of me! Why am I on the very bottom? Wow.
Hey-o!
I didn't know you could even balance so many people on one bed.
One-chan, please to be getting off me now, onegai!
What an inconvenient mode of transport. Usually I'd consider the bed the gateway to many things, but this is not what I had in mind.
The party quickly files out and are met by a generic miner sprite. You have to help! Moore's in trouble! Yes, we've gathered that much. His very personality was scattered and shattered across his subconscious mind.
Do miners have personalities? Dama-chan! What? You were thinking it too.
This is the settlement of Hartman, a safe haven. This is once where his entire personality resided. But since the coming of the great evil, they've been sent all across the world. Please find them and reunite them so we may form courage and fight back. Sounds like a plan. Where shall we go from here? The evil awaits you at Freud's Tower in the north, but without courage it remains unassailable. You should go through Jung's Field to the east, then explore Skinner's Hut. But don't forget Bandura's Woods. Okay, let's explore these areas first then.
You're gonna have a doubt moment when I tell you this.
I was going into my libertarian Jordan Peterson voice there for a minute.
You are kind of going into your Jordan Peterson voice, which is apropos.
Which is really kind of funny given what we're talking about right now, given that like every single one of those names is a reference to a famous psychologist. The first area we can
You gotta pull yourself together, Rebecca.
Clean your room. The first area we go to is Jung's Field, so let's not go there. Instead, hang east a little.
Oh no!
Let's hang east a little further and go to Skinner's Hut, a perfectly cubicle house. Inside, we see more. Me? I'm not more, you you butthole. I'm anger. I didn't even say anything. Could you dial it back a little? Ha! Hell no. I'm anger. Huh. Right. So, can you come with us? You trying to tell me what to do, pretty boy? I'll mess you up so bad, so bad that you'll wish I didn't mess you up so bad. Apparently, Wit isn't here with anger. I will crush you. Ozma punches Anger in the gut, dropping him like a stone. There. We can drop him off in Hartman when we go next. A little sudden, but it does work. Got Moore's Anger. Now we can go to Bandura's Woods, where annoying psyche munchkins appear alongside hypnowls, both of whom can put the party to sleep. This is annoying more than it is dangerous. If you wheel through the forest a bit, you'll find another Moore within. Blue, blue, blue. Are you okay? I'm sad. So I see. No, I'm sadness. Like the emotion. Without the others, all I can do is hide away and cry. Blue, blue, blue. Hero, this may require a woman's touch. Ozma goes to Sadness, placing a hand on his shoulder. Are you here telling me that everything's going to be okay and pat me on the head? No. Your voice is super annoying, so stop crying. I'm going to deck you. Get in the car, loser. We're finding courage.
Wow, this is 2 for 2.
Yeah, Ozma's really on a tear all of a sudden. Got more Sadness. Now we can head north to Pavlov's Pavilion. Here's where the insidious international release censorship rears its head in a pretty big way. See, in the Japanese, the pavilion's a casino, filled with gambling minigames and voluptuous chimera women who insist they'll sleep with anyone up for a romp with them. You open the door to the next emotion by gambling enough tokens until you get 250 and then pay your way to access it. In the international...
I was going to say, this is actually more in line with his... I would say, or with his personality, judging from what he says later.
That's true,
that he would basically be like, what's your happiness? Going, basically, it's Las Vegas.
In the international versions, however, this place is a Technicolor Candyland, where penguins, rabbits, puppies, and kittens tell you how much they love you and give you candy hearts. Once you collect 25 candy hearts, you can ford the Strawberry River, and the riverman, amusingly named Branches, ferries you across. Either way, Laurel will protest the scene, either for being boring or for being too saccharine, depending on the version, and insist that he misses killing dinosaurs. Either way, the locked door opens and you'll find another emotion. Ugh, this place is gross. I can't stand it. And you are frolicking around in there. You're gross too.
Dame, you act all high and mighty, but you're the one who came here first. If you hate it so much, then none dayo. You're not so above it all either.
You're spilling out of your top. You're so gross. Have some respect for yourself.
My opai are proud and beautiful. I represent the abundant harvest of autumn, baka. The emotion you need is pride. You need to love yourself and surround yourself with those that love you. Then you'll realize you are beautiful, and you only need to live up to your own expectations, as long as you wish to set them.
Motivational speeches disgust me. Kimyawa grapples disgust and then German suplexes him, unlocking her new attack, the German suplex, a terrifyingly powerful single-target skill that's calculated off of her speed stat.
Baka, baka, baka!
Oh, pretty stars. Got Moore's disgust. Next, we can head to the small town, Vygotsky, in the south, where there's a consumable item shop and the next emotion and not a whole lot else. Wow, what a great day! Oh, hi there. I'm Moore's Joy.
The hell are you so chipper about?
What isn't there to be chipper about? I'm in a wonderful town, and some wonderful new visitors are here. This is a chance to make new friends. I like this guy. He's as blissfully naive as I once was. Good times. So we're friends now, right? Let me accompany you. Wow. If everyone in the world was like this, I wouldn't feel perpetually like the world's made of cardboard and soaked in ethanol, and the torch was thrust into my hands. Hero? Are you okay? Why, Pudding Elder? Why am I the hero? Amelia's the hero. I'm an accident. I was born because my mom can't hold her liquor.
Oh dear. The weight of reality has finally broken him. Does this mean that we're going to have to go into Nero Nichan's head?
Let's put a rain track on that now.
This is...
Foreshadowing!
Sometimes foreshadowing is relatively obvious. Got Moore's Joy. And now, there will be no more joy, as we have to cross Jung's field. How do I put this? Imagine a landmine field with no markers, but lots and lots of landmines. The landmines reset after detonating, and do that infinitely. The safe road is about 2 blocks wide, and the method for doing this puzzle was removed in the international version. Welcome to Amazing Quest 1, Worst Dungeon. In the Japanese version, there's a yellow face icon that would appear at the bottom of the screen. As you progressed, his eyes would point towards the nearest mine. If you were 1 step from a mine, you'd get this psychotic grin warning you that you were too close. You could use this to parse the path without ever taking damage fairly reliably. Why did they remove this? I don't know. Why did JD get drunk on a non-alcoholic drink in Amazing Quest 2? The world may never know. The sole catharsis to be found here is that at the midway point, we find that yellow-faced, smiling jerk, and he's the boss of the area. Boss fight!
The funny thing with this is the fact that this entire dungeon is one Snek and I don't really like, and yet we were writing this, and both of us turned to each other and were like, how do we make this worse?
We have to make it worse somehow.
This is the result.
Dost mine eyes. Life points, 35,000. MP, 10,000. Oh, this fight. How do I explain this fight? The short version would just be the words, not fun, repeated about 20,000 times. To be more exact, DME here not only mocks you throughout with lines like, are we having fun yet? And take it easy as he attacks you. When he says, look out, he hurls a series of bombs at you, and just like a SnekCon DTK series, which shall remain nameless, there's no defense against bombs. They just do crap tons of damage. In fact, that's kind of this guy's thing. He doesn't have a means to inflict status ailments, but he has tons of health, and his defense is the highest by far we've seen, and all of his attacks are seriously OP. The one upside to all of this is his damage is calculated as physical damage. So if you rebalance your defenses accordingly, why is that misspelled? Why is the word accordingly misspelled with a weird random capital K? What even happened here? You cannot mitigate the damage dealt. There's a reason this guy became a meme in the fandom for moments in the series that are horrifically imbalanced and not fun to play. End boss fight. Thankfully, upon his defeat, the mines in the area are cleared out, and we're allowed to move north to the last emotion. I'm not going out there. It's too scary.
Oh, right. I'm sorry. I was, wondering what's going on over there. That seems way more interesting. Anyways, if you mean the buffoon with the terrifying face, we took care of him already.
The world's too scary. I'm just gonna hide here. I think it's the least scary place.
Boy, listen to me and listen well. Fear will always be with you. It's the phantom that insists on riding astride your shoulder for your entire journey of life. And that's okay, because the ultimate dance of fates will not be casting fear off, but embracing it as part of who you are and mastering it. That, in truth, is courage. You, as fear, are not antithetical to bravery. You are, in fact, its very core.
Wow. Despite being a foppish poof, you make a really good point.
I prefer to think of myself as fabulous, thank you very much. But you know what I do when I'm scared? I freak fear the fuck out.
He's not kidding. That's actually what he does. Meep. I better get back to Hartman. I think I hear the others calling for me. Got Moore's fear. With this, we have all of Moore's scattered emotions back at Hartman. Go back now, and you'll see the many, many copies of Moore here, including a few not named in the international version. Thank you all. Thanks to you, we can reunite ourselves and find courage. Then we'll be able to launch our counterattack on the evil in Freud's tower. All of the Moore pile into one square as the screen whites out, revealing the completed Moore courage. All right! At last I feel ready to go. Great. Welcome to the team, Moore. Moore joins the party. And it is a shame that his stats are terrible. His physical stats are eclipsed by Ozma, his magical stats are overshadowed by Dama, and his few skills are just weaker versions of Kimiawa's and Loiral's. His HP is lower than Hiro's, and he only has enough MP to launch 2 casts of any of his abilities. Seriously, Snetcom, are you trying to make your fans hate you? At any rate, it's time to visit the unfortunately shaped Freud's tower. As the party approaches, they see the tower seems to shift in and out of existence, almost like actually viewing a dream in physical space. It's growing, and it's shaped like a plump helmet.
It's really getting huge.
Sugoi. I've seen better.
Dot, 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 dot. Enter the
I
tower.
wonder what they're referring to.
It's a mystery. The walls shift in and out of visibility here, but retain their solid qualities, meaning the tiny one-block-wide paths you must navigate aren't even in view half the time. This place should be called Test of Patience Tower, or perhaps Testy Tower for short. Heyo!
Heyo!
Obvious jokes aside, you just navigate it until you find an armored man standing in front of some stairs. Alright, this is, I think, the next Praetorian.
Yes.
You want to do this one? Alright.
You'll not go a step further.
Did you do this to Moore? Answer, dark pudding dog.
Dog, you dare address the great Praetorian so as a dog?
Oh, jeez, not another one of you guys.
The great heavenly king, Moat, entrusted to me. Wait, did you just say another?
Yeah, there were these other Praetorian guys I ran into earlier. Don't really recall their names.
So you are the ones who brutally ended the reign of glory that Praetorian Do, Re, Mi, and Fa battled so brilliantly for. My brothers in arms, I shall avenge their untimely deaths.
One was a woman.
I was speaking poetically. Now you shall face the unparalleled might of the burning soul.
What kind of dastardly trick do you have?
Trick? No, I shall explain my powers in full. Thus we may fight as honorable men of valor.
And women of valor?
Yes, that too. My power. Witness and tremble.
So then bursts a flame as he removes his helmet, revealing a chiseled visage and a bald, shining head.
Yes, I see you are left speechless by my overwhelming abilities. Many have had that reaction to the unstoppable force before you.
So that's it? You ignite yourself?
Yes, it's actually a very powerful attack.
Actually, we've fought fire-themed enemies before now.
Didn't that one guy have the power to harden his body like armor? Now that was a power I'd respect. I'll say, or the guy who summoned lightning. I like that one myself.
Juju-chan, is that why you don't have any hair anymore? Did you singe it all off?
What? No, I have eyebrows, see? And do you have any idea how long it takes to learn to not only set yourself on fire, but not hurt yourself doing so? A long time, that's what. So, when you take a shower, does it become steam? Is every bath a steam bath? No, that's not how this works. Oh, gods above, this is not going how I imagined it would.
Oh, I got one. He must be a hot commodity. Oh.
That tears it. You're all dead.
Boss fight. Praetorian So. LP of 45,000, MP of 5,000. So is just a so-so battle, so there's really nothing in particular so great about So. He can use different fire spells and cause damage over time with burns, but if you have some aloe vera and Toneland, that's a real non-issue. Plus, Mancala's water-based abilities and Ozma's ability to debuff defense works as a great twofer in this fight. Hero may ultimately play more of a support role this time around. So, you realize as you reap what you sow. End boss fight.
Do you think that the listener understands the overall joke with the Praetorians?
No, I think they might have figured it out by now, given that So literally recited their names in order.
My brothers and sister, I'm sorry I failed you. There remains two who may reclaim our honor. Joke's on you, foolish light puddings. There's no way out of this maze. You'll wander its halls alongside of my spirit for all eternity.
For a bunch of cowards who chose to pick on people who live in literal holes in the dirt, they retain a high degree of pride.
Yes, but why? He said this is a direct order from Mott, so there must have been a strategic gain in doing so. We need to investigate further. Hey, guys, if we go up the stairs here, we can get out.
Seems he was mistaken in telling us there was no means out. What a pointless interlude.
The party returns to Moore's room, no worse for wear. I had a long, strange dream.
Believe us, we know. We saw it. We saw everything.
So obviously, the only way to repay you is to join you on your quest. As a miner, I can open holes and select places on the map. That sounds selectively useful. Welcome to the team, Moore. Again? Are you gonna put me on the bench again? Yeah, I'm probably, for just being honest here. It's okay. I'm kind of a booty guy myself.
Baka hentai! Stare at your own risk.
We then depart and head south for a while. Head hard south. Oh, we head hard south even. Eventually, it starts snowing as we enter a small hamlet named Heat. What's that?
I said it's with a hard S.
Hard S, yes. It starts snowing as we enter the small hamlet named Heat.
I wonder if there are any Nyasi around.
That's
probably not.
Probably not anymore.
Haha! These people have a great sense of irony.
Yeah, this is actually where I flubbed, because I actually have Hero repeat a line he said earlier, but I completely forgot he said it earlier. So you guys can just, go ahead and go into the comments and tell me how dumb I am. I don't know.
OMG! You're so dumb!
I am. I've never heard of people bagging on their own town when they named it. Something seems out of place. Oh, you got that right, sonny boy. This is one of the toastiest tropical paradises on Earth. But since that dastard Mott moved into the weather station, we've been in the middle of a deep freeze. Does this town only exist to solidify Mott as a proper villain? Pardon? I mean, the first Heavenly King was about to bring a countryside to its knees with his mad science chemistry set. But now that we're here, Mott's rap sheet has kind of been the sum total of mildly inconveniencing a single guy in a single town. Hey, just thinking out loud here. Even so, we can't let his reign of mild inconvenience stand. We should go to the weather station and sort this mess out. So, head to the weather station. It's on top of the hill to the southeast. You can access it by going south and heading north up the slope. The weather station is a large white tower because that's a unique motif in this franchise. Inside are mazes that try to differentiate themselves from the Freud Tower and fail. Each of them has a different weather motif, like rain, clouds, which is a very nice reflective motif, as the floor is lightly coated in water, and ice sledding puzzles. The problem is that these motifs don't actually add very much, and these concepts were done far better and far more interestingly in the Cognami Our UV Radiation series of GBA games. At the top floor, Mott awaits us, floating menacingly in front of a machine, not dissimilar to the one we saw in the Quake control room. Give it up, Mott. You're surrounded and trapped with nowhere to go. Give up peacefully and face justice for your crimes, or we'll resort to violence.
Which would be faster and, a lot more fun. Oh ho, threatening me, are ye? Well, little do you know, my true power is drawing things from my dream world into this reality.
What does that amount to?
Um, Hot girls, mostly.
More nod sagely here.
Okay, that's not gonna fly here. Very well, I'll try a different tactic.
Say what now? Mott rears back and then slams into Hero, knocking him flat. Hero!
Damn it, that little rat. He was ready for this. Grab that damnable mirror and let's get after him.
Loiro flashes the mirror, which fires a laser beam. Yes. Laser beam, blackening Hero's face comedically.
Oops, sorry. 2 legendary mirrors and all. Got them confused.
Laura flashes the other mirror, which causes the screen to white out again as they enter a recolored and slightly rearranged version of Moore's Subcon Island. God, I hate this stretch of the game. There's only 2 landmarks, though. A town where you can rest and buy items, all stationed by copies of Hero. To the north is another white tower where Mod awaits us. Have I mentioned I hate this stretch of the game? Because I do. Anyway, Tower of Doubt tries some unique maze shenanigans, like spinning the camera randomly, useless as your party remains pointed in the same direction anyway, and the teleporter maze, which isn't all that complicated at all, and some other things along the way. What's actually interesting here is that in various rooms we see shadows of Hero and other characters speaking. In the entryway we get, what's that? I'm not the savior of our tribe. I couldn't even save my sister or my hometown from the dark puddings. People died because I was weak.
Hiro Nichan.
Bear in
Then,
mind, this is Shadow Hero.
this is
not
Shadow
just regular
Hero. Real Hero is not here right now. These are shadows that you are seeing, because it's called the Tower of Doubt, in case I was being too subtle with my metaphors here. Then again, in the stairwell, towns are falling in around me. I can't stop the sense of destruction. Why can I not stop them?
I see. This is the manifestation of Hiro's inner demons. Naturally, Moot would come here to find weaknesses.
On the second floor's largest room, he has a conversation with Shadow Amelia, so that's a little bit different.
You mustn't give up. We can save them.
I can't. You know that already, Amelia, so why? Do you just like hitting me that much?
Well, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little bit of schadenfreude involved.
Just stop. You're the savior of our tribe. I'm just a mistake. Shadow Hero walks away, throwing down a wooden training sword.
Seems our fearless leader is quite the basket case.
He's tearing himself apart.
Here we pick up the key item, Memory of Amelia, from the training sword. At the stairwell to the stairwell to the third floor. Is that me?
More likely, the way he views you.
Shadow Ozma. I have the weight of the kingdom riding on me. I must be strong enough to shoulder this burden. If I let her down, I'm letting down an entire kingdom. Again. I can't. I'm not strong enough. Damn it! Shadow Hero falls to his knees. Shadow Ozma fades away, leaving a round object on the floor. Ozma.
This is good. Okay, Tome Whiplash in 3, 2, 1.
Just a bit. Ozma, I'm sorry. Oh, Hero, don't apologize. From the round object, you'll get the memory of Ozma. At the T intersection on the third floor.
Oni-chan, it's us.
Yes, this will give us a fascinating insight into our relationship.
Hallo, alter Bruder, ich bin die Fräulein mit die
Okay, hold on. I can do this again.
Hallo, alter Bruder, ich bin die Fräulein mit die große Brüste.
Fabulous! I feel like I should be offended here, but he did use my favorite word, so...
Eto. I'm never going to give up. I'll remain perky and ready till the very end.
The pride of my tribe spurs me on to greater heights. But if you want my best weapons, you best pony up.
How? You guys are always together and you never stop trying. When the chips were down, I couldn't do anything to save my own sister.
Oh, Hero, making mountains out of hills.
Tee-hee, she said perky, and you said mountain. He thinks so highly of us, but so lowly of himself. Poor Hiro Nichan.
The two shadows leave behind twin blades, which are memories of Loyrol and memories of Kimioa. At the stairwell to the fourth floor, a shadow of Dama, holding a fishbowl in her hands, appears there.
Ah, the interesting part. I, the mighty sorceress and ally of the Pudding Tribe, shall aid you for now, unworthy successor. I never said anything of the sort. Is that how little you think of me, boy?
Hala, get dada. Wait, is that supposed to be me? That son of a bitch! I love that bit. No regrets for that part.
No, it's not even the best part.
The shadows of Dama and Mancala leave behind twin rods, which you collect as memories of Dama and memories of fish. That is not a mistranslation. That is the actual item name. With these, we can go to the fourth, final floor, which is comprised of two rooms. The first has the final shadow scene. My friends depend on me so much, but I'm just a failure. In the end, I'll just let everyone down again. From the day I was born, no one minded me because Amelia was the destined chosen pudding hero. Surrounded by people at all times, I have never felt so utterly alone. I can't believe he felt this way this whole time and never told us.
Perhaps it was merely that I'm the only one who actually pays attention around here, but he was pretty obvious about his feelings from the start. Maybe you were just hearing what you wanted to hear.
I think that's him up ahead.
Is Mott here already there? Don't tell me we're too late. I really need to smack him one. Hero or Mott? Yes.
Ouch.
The party proceeds forward after collecting memories of self and finds Mott and Hero. Mott is openly weeping as Hero is talking. And that's when I realized no matter how hard I try, I'll still end up dying scared, tired, and alone, as I lived, unloved and hopeless.
Oh, gods above, make this guy stop talking already.
Hero, we're here to save you? Actually, it looks like Mott is about ready to concede.
Oh, thank goodness you're here. Can you shut him up?
But, I mean, I figured you were in my head anyway. I thought I'd go ahead and make my internal monologue external. It feels good to get it all off my chest.
Oh, to hell with it. I'll summon your worst fears and crush you all!
Some very strange creatures begin raining in from above. Hero assumes fetal position here as his eyes bug out.
Wait, what are these things?
Oh, gods, no! Spiders with baboon heads!
What?
Amelia told me about them when I was little. They build nests on your roof and slowly inch their way down at night. They steal little kids and take them away to live in jungles and eat spider bananas. But every time I try to climb a tree, I fall out and hurt myself. I could never survive that kind of judgmental culture.
Okay, to give a little bit of context, this is actually one of those things that younger Noodle told Baby Poogum. And so he made this entire thing about, if you're not careful, the spider monkeys will get you, and they go, spider, and they'll sneak into your room and steal you. But Baby Poogum is weird, and she thought it was funny whenever, Noodle pretended to be a spider monkey, so it wasn't threatening. But I told Snek about this, and this is the result.
This has to be put in. You know that, right?
Yeah, I know. What is wrong with you? Why is everything wrong with you?
That's a good question, actually. Hero, it's okay. Huh? Hero, come here. Ozma kneels and hugs Hero.
Oh.
Everyone has fears and doubts. None of us stand alone. We all have our quirks and our eccentricities. Some of us are even loyal.
Jealousy is unbecoming of you, princess.
But that's okay, because we love you, not despite your weaknesses, but in part because of them. Except for me. I'm still pretty sore. These memories are themselves sacred treasures, and so is our friendship. Stop exalting us by condemning yourself. When you hurt, we hurt. Again, except for me. Stand up, Hero. Hero and Ozma rise. 'Cause it's time to kick some ass!
Oh, damn it.
Boss fight! Heavenly King Mott, LP of 50,000, MP of 25,000. Here, Hero will automatically replace anyone you had in the first party slot, so do be mindful of your alignment as you enter. As an interesting note, this battle does not actually play the Heavenly King's shared theme song, Steel Gauntlet. It will actually play Hero's theme song, Blade That Shapes the Stars, which was remixed in later games into the better-known version, King of Pudding. Mott is by far the weakest and least interesting of the Heavenly Kings, befitting his role in this story. He tries to inflict ennui on the party to try to control their movement, but it seems to have a relatively low success rate for some reason.
I believe that's supposed to be ennui,
Is it?
but
Alright.
yeah, it's ennui. It's literally the feeling of lack of interest in doing things.
Your best bet is to use Kimiawa or Loiral's dual tech if they're a high enough level to have the double downward dog, which deals high light base damage, which Mott has no base resistance. I typically use the chocolate raspberry swirl as Hero and Asuma's combined raw strength, due to a hidden, unexplained gimmick Mott has, as his elemental resistance goes up when hit by magic and down when hit by physical. However, this is done by a very slight multiplier value, and his light resist is set at 0 and so will never change. He has no attacks that are major threats to the party. That hasn't been run by every other fight. Boss
This
fight
is actually a reference to the Heavenly King. I want to say his name is Muto, which basically does that. Like he'll start out with a really high magic defense, but really low physical defense.
And then as you use one or the other, it slides the scale that direction.
Yes, but here's the thing: his sprite actually is like really out of.
Yeah, it's like super.
It's
pixelated.
basically this like weird like brain coral, and it's like out of focus. But the more damage you do, and it becomes slower and slowly like in focus. It's actually a really interesting fight, which is weird because Moot is not actually that interesting.
Yeah, no, he's not.
No. Yeah. God damn it. Seriously, this is how I die? In the head of some manic depressive douchebag with an inferiority complex? This sucks.
Mott then explodes, violently hurling the party from Hero's head, causing them to reappear in the weather station and Hero to bolt upright. Even in my head?
Are you still on about that?
Yeah, but in my head?
I just checked the console. This looks like where the Wind Talisman was stored before it ended up in Toneland. The damage is reversible, and so I think heat should be thawed out by now.
Everyone, thank you. I owe you a lot. Yes, you do. Yes, even you, Mancala. Even you, Mancala. Seriously, holla holla get dollar. In my defense, you did shill me as soon as you met me. Hero gained confidence. Here, the memory items break down and become stat-ups, which makes Hero's pudding swirl forms even stronger. We now can use the exit warp. When we do, we end up in Heat's town square, which has indeed thawed and is now a tropical paradise. No, thank goodness. Last time I tried to use one of these, it blew up. The people in town thank you profusely, and if you go noodling in the stream here, you'll obtain the pudding cape accessory, rounding out Hero's defenses. Now we can travel through the waterfall in the south to move through the next town at Warudo, only to see the inhabitants apparently walk backwards here. Trying to speak to them is useless, as everything they say is written backwards. There's only one NPC who won't just say B plus select press. You want to do the hunter?
What do they mean by that? I returned from a hunting trip a few days ago, and everyone is like this now. Talking to them is useless. They don't even seem to see us. There's powerful magic at work here. They're moving backwards through time, but also in a fixed loop. The only way to free them would be to destroy the source of the spell that put them in the condition in the first place. Oh, the only magical aligned place around here would be the clock tower.
Is it a large, white, nondescript tower on a hill?
Yes, why?
No reason.
Clock tower, Let's investigate.
As there's no items to steal here, we move on to the east to get another tower because good game design. This is actually true. Like in Breath of Fire 1, you go through like 4 tower dungeons in a row, and they all use the same overworld sprite.
Oh, and the funny thing is the final dungeon is a giant tower, but this time it's floating.
Indeed. The tower's primary gimmick are large clock buttons on the floor, which run time forward or backward as you stand there. This will cause walls and other obstacles to be built, collapse, or change, and you need to seek out the most effective means through by moving the dungeon forward or backward in time. Though Snetcom apparently got tired of this motif after a while, the dungeon actually only runs 3 floors before you hit the top. There, Curie awaits us.
You! How did you escape my time loop?
We were nowhere near it when you cast it. And you should know that for a fact, as you saw us in Toneland when you stole the Wind Talisman.
Oh, yes. Well, details. No one else in Warudo was spared. Actually, there was one guy. Oh, son of a bitch. How many other people managed to conveniently avoid my spell then?
Well, you missed my entire village, and the next entire village over.
Yes, well, Moot called dibs and... Oh god, Moot's dead now, isn't he?
Do we even need to clarify that?
It's hard to be the only competent person said, oh. Oh. Sometimes. Foreshadowing is obvious. Oh, that's very... Oh, that hits harder knowing how she dies. Anyways, fine, whatever. Just let me check in on that. What the hell's happening? A viewing portal opens in the middle of the room, and I am now the narrator.
Okay, sure, why not?
Gasp!
Not you too!
It's Bob,
Who?
my only friend from my childhood.
Oh no, we're going this direction, aren't we?
My Fifis demand that I rip the hell out of space-time!
Oh boy. The party. Oh, you really want to be the narrator? I'm okay with that.
No, I'm
Okay.
fine.
The party is sucked into a rift and very violently deposited back out into the open field. Or rather, Hero is deposited here alone, in a very long stretch away from Arudo. Also, every single enemy here knows instant death abilities, because good game design. This is true. That actually happens in Breath of Fire 1, and it can easily just wipe you out and make you lose half your money for no good reason. So, once you get into one random encounter and party wipe, you'll be warped to the save point in Warudo at the low cost of half your currency. I'm so glad Chapter 6 is almost done. When you reunite with the others, they'll all begin talking.
Oh boy, it looks like it's Curie causing this chaos. Sorry about that. Yet she's always been a handful.
How did
This
she
is
even...
the way I talk.
That's fine. How did you even do this? Isn't that the Talisman of Wind, not space-time?
She's a chimera, you see. She has, like, magic?
Magic. Just magic sufficient to rip time?
Yep. I mean, never mind the fact that, like, there's 3 chimerae here.
Yeah.
Are you gonna bring that up?
Hero
No.
massages his temples.
Maybe I should go talk to her. Maybe we can convince her to stop all of this of volition.
Yeah, that's worked really well so far. Let's go with that plan.
Not like we had anything better than that.
I'm being sarcastic. This
Wow.
plan is terrible.
Let's go.
So we traverse the clock tower again, doing the same puzzles. Again.
Curie! Bob! Curie! Bob! Curie! Bob!
Curie, could you stop?
I mean, I could do that.
Really?
No.
Figures.
Pretty please?
I have my thumb on their very pulses. I could advance their aging instantly and kill them all. What, would you want that?
Man, this escalated quickly.
Would that also speed up them having marriages and children and usher in a very fast-growing next generation?
No.
Well, why not?
Because reasons.
But no matter the speed, wouldn't they just still experience it at whatever they perceive to be the normal pace because everyone around them is too?
I said no.
Just trying to help you out.
That's it. My Fifis demand retribution.
But our happy childhood that will never show the players.
I said no, damn it.
Well, I tried.
Boss fight!
Boss Flock!
Chimera
Curie!
LP, doesn't matter. MP, ditto. This isn't even a real boss fight. It just goes on a set number of turns as Curie turns into a big old gargoyle thing with huge claws, hands, and wings. Just block a few turns. This will end itself. End boss fight!
That's it. If you don't get out, these people are dust.
It's too much. We gotta fall back for now.
Holy crap. The tension is so high that even Mancala developed a conscience.
The party flees, or tries to, but gets put into another time warp, dropping them outside the tower again. The door is locked with the ominous...
Oh, I was just going to say, another time warp, it's just a jump to the left.
and a step to the right.
To the right. Hell, stop.
Dropping them outside the tower again. The door is locked with the ominous phrase, Curie has made this door as closed as her mind is. At this point, we fall back to town.
This is probably my fault for reasons I won't ever expound upon.
This would be a lot easier if you could just explain your childhood friendship, you know.
I know, but I'm not going to. But the humans here don't like her because she's a chimera.
Wait, is this franchise really going to go into a xenophobia?
I was going to say Zenobia, but that's completely different. Xenophobia is bad message here? Yup. Why?
Oh, no reason.
So they threw her out, but I was friends with her, somehow. Don't really care to explain anymore.
Ah, so maybe a token of friendship from our past?
Maybe fruit.
Like a fruit basket.
No, like fruit. A specific fruit that's always capitalized. Tree.
So, not an apple or an orange, just fruit.
Correctamundo grows on tree, south of here.
Well, okay then. So now you venture south to the peninsula, where you'll find a fruit, capital, tree. Have Ozma punch it to obtain a capital F fruit. Now you can return to the clock tower with Bob.
That smell, could it be fruit?
So she knows what it is. What it too? I think she's supposed to be. She knows what it is too, and by scent, apparently.
Well, I mean, she is a chimera.
That's true. So we're now informed that Curie's heart and the door lock have melted, so we can go back in for the third time to face her at the top floor.
I hurt Bob badly. He won't ever forgive me.
I'm right here. I'm right behind you.
You know I don't look back there. I'm so tired of being evil. I'd rather be the stock cliche about how the only female villain is suddenly having a change of heart, even though JD is there, and JD's not going to have a change of heart. She's going to get thrown out a window, but we don't know that yet. Our male compatriots are evil, soulless monsters.
Kind of makes you wonder why we're even here then.
Here, take the wind talisman.
For serious? Wow, I'm not used to things going my way, or people listening to reason. Thanks. You got wind talisman.
Bob, can you ever forgive me?
I've been thinking. Lot of fish in the sea. So, bye.
Bob walks out. As he does, Cord drives on screen. Hey, I've been talked about a lot, so I thought I'd stop by and... Oh, hey, I think I walked in on something. You guys okay? How's everyone doing? We're good. Good, glad to hear it. But see, I haven't really done much of anything, except some of the Grim Reaper. Good job beating him, by the way. Oh, Curie?
Yes?
Here, I need to give you this.
What's this?
A pink slip. And this.
I'm fired? And what's this?
Notification to your next of kin. See, JD doesn't take bad news very well. You kind of screwed the pooch in a big way.
If no one minds, we're going to be exiting stage left.
Oh, yeah, don't mind us. Just ironing out some internal politics. But
No buts, so.
the party arrives outside, and the entire clock tower just up and disappears. What was the point of this chapter?
To remind everyone playing that this is a Snek game. Come on, we only have 2 talismans remaining.
The party moves off
They
screen.
never get them.
No, they don't. The party moves off screen. A moment after, Cord walks out of the crater where the clock tower used to be. You know, that was rude, trying to erase me from space and time. That'd have been dangerous if it had been, actually dangerous. Moron.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
That's the end of chapter 6.
Holy cow, that was long.
Might be the longest chapter in the game. I think.
I know chapter 7 is long, but that's just because I actually decided, I basically, well, see, okay, so here's the thing. We've been joking about the fact that, like, Hiro, constantly idolizes his older sister. That's not incorrect to Breath of Fire 1. The issue being is that basically she just shows up, gives you a item to help you kill one dragon, and then basically just dies.
Yep.
So, and we're like, that's stupid. You know what? That's really stupid. We're basically going to General Leo this sumbitch. And that adds like a huge amount to the next chapter. But I mean, even still, I don't think chapter 7 gets anywhere close to chapter 6.
No, I'll have to check, but I do think chapter 6 really is the longest.
Well, that was fun. I mean, I still enjoy Amazing Quest even
Oh
to this
yeah,
day.
no, definitely, it is still really good. There's only like one or two things I'd change, like the fact that I kind of flubbed Hero's dialogue in one bit, and other than that, I think really consistently very funny, and it doesn't waste a whole lot of time on any one particular bit. You're moving pretty briskly scene to scene.
Yeah, I think we kind of realized that when we're like, oh yeah, we're gonna backtrack. We're like, oh, right, we've been blowing up cities left and right. We're gonna do this.
Feel really proud of the end result. Like a lot of this was very off the cuff, and while Breath of Fire 1 was a approximate guideline for the some of the story beats and the like, it really has a personality all its own. And that I'm very pleased with how it turned out.
I mean, that is kind of because of basically we started with Amazing Quest 3, then we did 2, then we realized that we didn't like 2, but we liked a lot of the lore that we for 2, and then we made 1 standing up. And then we looked at 2, went, we should do that, and then 6 years have passed, and we're about halfway through the remake of 2, and shrug.
Yeah, life is a weird thing sometimes
Life is like a hurricane.
here in Snekberg.
Mm-hmm.
So, thank you for joining me in our revisitation part 2. And
My pleasure.
you guys at home will get to see part 3, which will probably be the finale, if I had to guess. Because I think like chapter 7 and 8 are like together are the same size as chapter 6.
They're 7, 8, and 9.
Oh, that's right. There is no.
But
For some reason, I was thinking there was 10, but no, you're right. There is.
because for AQ2 and AQ3 there's 10 chapters, but basically we got up to 9, and I'm like, really, we're right up to Miria's tower, so I might as well just finish it.
Which also makes sense because there's the whole thing where like in Amazing Quest 1 there's 5 talismans, or from was it 2 going forward, or was it 3? There the Talisman of Darkness becomes a thing.
The Talisman of Darkness was added as part of the ritual to summon Death Sethon in the original one too.
Okay.
By an evil, basically not Dr. Frank. And so we just like that because I want to say that was a thing in, I don't remember if that was a thing in either Breath of Fire or in...
There were the goddess keys in the first game, but they never come up again. Like it's literally just never addressed.
Well, I think because they got used literally.
Yeah, they were destroyed. Yeah, so they're just not around. And Death Evan is described as a spore who fell off of Miria. So his base nature is also a little different. So yeah.
He's still alive too, by the way.
Yeah,
that's never addressed again.
Yeah, he can and never dies. He would still technically be around. I mean, he would be buried deep underground after having got his face rocked. So it would take him a while to get back up again, but he's still technically like around somewhere. So
Hmm.
that's just like Mega Man X8. Capcom has a dangling cliffhanger plot thread that's just not going to get resolved.
Yeah. Thanks, Kenji Inafune.
For
Now
going
you make awful
crazy.
video games.
Yeah, awful video game, singular. Join us next time. Over the next few weeks, you guys will see the remaining bits of the Lost Season 2. And then we're going to go into Season 4. And you guys will see some small but meaningful changes. And we're going to see you guys when we get there.
Later, Gators.